partija mi sudi. Neka sudi, pjevat ćemo ljudi. Ne boj se rogova ni lažnih bogova, šta nam mogu lanjski snjegovi. Ne boj se tragova ričućih hlabova, šta će crni oblak planini.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to PodroomTV. Many of you thought we'd never be back on air again. As you can see, Rob hasn't turned up yet, but here he is, Elga. Elga.
Is it Monday again?
It's Monday, mate. Where have you been, mate? Where have you? Were you under there the whole time?
I was sleeping here.
Jesus.
I wasn't allowed to go home.
Yeah.
After last week, I thought it was safer to stay here.
It was a long night. It was a long night, mate. It was some people call it epic, some people call it glupost and sranje.
Some people call it insane.
Insanity, exactly right. Some people said
It's
you
all of the above.
don't have to do another show for a month or until next year because it's 70 hours or whatever it went for. Total ludnica, but we are back.
Well, they even prayed. Please don't come back.
Please don't sing. We are sober, večeras, so I'm on a 7-step program. First one is nemoj pit premium badel rakija, or don't get mangled is step one.
How good was it though?
It was pretty good, man.
It's
the
smooth,
recovery, the
like,
hangover. Oh, the hangover was worth it.
Yeah.
I think. To be honest, no shit. I'm an angry man. Usually. In real life, outside of the big screen, I'm a pretty angry man. But I don't think I felt happier in a long, long time than I did last Monday here, just singing. Yeah, just standing to the side there. These boys are doing their thing. You're singing your song, and I'm on the side with a tambourine. And I'll tell you what, if we could do that, no, you do it every week.
Yeah.
I'd say if we could do that once a week, I'd be fucking flying. Ali, once a month, Chovik, to have that sort of outlet where you can just sing Crow songs in a garage, in whatever environment you're in.
Yeah.
You live longer.
Food for the dusha.
I reckon maybe with alcohol you live shorter life, and all the mezza that we ate, thanks to Mario Cavar. Ali, it was.
Thank God he brought that because we're starving at about 2 o'clock in the morning.
I cut up the whole plate of mezza, right? And then Mars turned up. He brought another lot and an emergency batch after 3 o'clock or whatever, after 30-hour break in case of emergency. We smashed it all.
Yeah.
I ended up with it. When you used left, I just cleaned up all the crackers and whatever was left was sitting out there for 6 hours. Didn't matter.
George Ricketts was getting messages all the time. Man, do you stop eating? You were just eating the whole show.
But we are back. It's been a big week of recovery and then a big week in the community as well. A whole lot of stuff has been happening. We know Hurstville Zagreb. We'll probably get somebody on from Hurstville Zagreb next week. Celebrated 55 years at the Concord. Had a massive festa out there. There was dancing. There was music. It looked amazing.
I haven't seen anything, actually.
Yeah, it came up on a lot of the socials. Then you had the Australian Championship, obviously Sydney United. Disappointing loss. I think their campaign is over. Canberra, Croatia, 0-0 draw against Preston. Pretty good turnout of Crows out there at Connor Reserve yesterday. So,
did they say what the attendance was?
I haven't seen the Canberra attendance. 4,000, about 4,000. I think the Sydney United one, allegedly, according to Twitter, it said that the attendance was 473 people. Now, I copped a lot of shit from especially the people that hate us. They were going on there. Yeah, that's about right. They were all at the Parliament House at some protest. Just giving a shit.
Yeah.
But I don't think a whole range of issues are going on down there, whether it's weather or timing or whatever it might be. I don't know. Ali, the numbers are pretty disappointing, and now their campaign is basically over. So I don't think that slapping coach video we showed helped.
We're just seeing years and years of talking about the B League and all that happening. It is disappointing. Sydney United's a big club, massive club, one of the biggest clubs in the country. And to be in this situation, you know, like you said, all these people that hate us, they're loving it. But for us, it's like, well, hang on, they were our shining hope, a great white hope in this whole thing, but it ends up turning out that Canberra Croatia's our hope, and they're still in it.
That's it, they are, mate. So Preston's got to go away to Avondale, right? Preston's currently second, NWS is third, Canberra's fourth, and it's all within a point of each other or something like that, yeah? If Preston lose to Avondale, and if Canberra beat NWS, whatever, they finish second in their group and they're off to the next stage. Everything's possible. Avondale's already qualified, but I think for pride, they're not a club that likes to even give away games, I don't reckon.
No, I don't think so either.
And especially don't want to let Preston get a foot in the door. And if Canberra can pull one over these NWS or whatever they're called, because they're playing all right, man. To, again, draw. Is that 2 draws with Preston? They beat Preston the first time, right? They beat Preston and drew with them away, which is pretty bloody.
So they're the 4 points.
For everything that they were saying that was going to happen to Canberra, the exact opposite has happened. So
100%.
Let me just see this. Check it. Where's this? Between the L and the I. There. But with regard to last week, you know, we got. I'll look at Japan, for example, Spolch, right? This is what they do in Japan here. And I was in Korea and I saw pretty much the same thing as well. Oh, no, wrong one. Check it. Actually, we'll get back to it. Is this the one? In Japan, drinking with co-workers is considered part of the job. And we are not only mates, but we're co-workers, colleagues in a workplace. In Japan, drinking with co-workers is considered, and you can see this bloke, he's asleep. He's in a suit. He's gone straight from his $500,000 banking job. You're on your leg up. He's Valia se kojunac, and he's upisha se here even. I think drinking with co-workers, it's normal with clients, etc. So we had clients here. Our client,
is it drinking normal or that's upisha? That's normal.
Well, it's coming from behind. It could be a bit of both.
Yeah, okay.
Ali, we had clients here. We're entertaining clients.
Yeah, we were,
and we're colleagues, and that's what you do in the civil life.
Is that saying that we could claim those bottles that we bought?
I reckon we could, Tax. Any accountants out there, feel free to flick us a text and how we can claim back that antique Badel Rakia, which didn't even touch the sides, man. That was gone within the first 15 minutes.
Because it's so smooth, honestly.
But some people, you know, they said, we should have released, made clips of the Monday night and released some of them as, on Spotify and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, right.
So there's a video clip here of one of our songs. So it's us singing, but we've just put a AI video clip of what it would look like if it was. So that's the Romanian version that we released on vinyl. But then again, when I listened to myself, there was a brief clip that was on Instagram. My daughter put it up. We were doing Živi la Croatia. I was on the mouth organ. You were singing with the tambourines, and it sounded fantastic from that angle because it was no interference. Didn't have 3 microphones or whatever. And when I watch myself singing from that angle, I go, geez, I'm pretty good, man. I reckon I can make a career out of it. But then when I sober up, and then I look back, this is what I actually sound like.
Okay. Yeah.
Never give up, no, 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 never give up, no, 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 let me love you, let me love you.
Yeah, so I think that's what I actually sound like.
His lips aren't as luscious as yours.
Yeah. But in real time, when you come back and you watch it, that's what it feels like. But we must also touch on early on in the show last week, while it was still relatively normal. We had put out an appeal for people to, if they were able to, put some money towards a bank account for Marko Samardžić to get back to Vukovar. He did. He was there. If anyone followed the papers, no doubt everyone would have seen the day before Nicolier, the Frenchman, who was his body was discovered after 34 years, and that was a massive media event, and a lot of people attended from all over Crow and all over the world. But then the next day was the burial of, what was his name, Zorislav Gašpar.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
And Marko was there, and you can see him there. He's actually holding the flag once the flag was folded from the coffin. But speaking to Tim Balaban, who was instrumental behind the scenes in organising the fundraising, a significant amount of money was organised to assist Marko in getting back to Crow and giving a dignified burial for his stepbrother. But we fingers crossed they find his dad sooner rather than later as well.
No, there was a huge response, and thank you to everybody.
But massive. The Barmer crew. So the Barmer crew who said that they'd give $500, they pledged $500 if we played a caller, actually donated $1,000 on the night as well. So Brenner, Batto, Dom, everyone else that was up there in Barmer for the weekend donated $1,000. Darko Balaman, Tim's brother, was also big financially helping there, but a significant amount of money in very short time frame was raised, and it's fantastic that our community can come together. And in whichever way it was, could have been $10, could have been $1,000. It didn't matter. If it could help ease, it's difficult. We're thinking about it now, how difficult it is to not be able to find your father after
imagine being in that
4
position.
years. Ali, at least they've laid to rest their stepbrother, and hopefully their dad soon as well. So anything we could do to help, we feel is fantastic.
Sure.
And what Tim Balaban also did as well, he's made a significant contribution to PodroomTV as well. So if anybody wants to follow Tim's business, Zen Data Solutions, you can see there the acronym is quite poignant for anyone that is watching. So what they do at Zen Data Solutions, we offer tailored career coaching sessions designed to meet your unique needs. Whether you're looking to change careers or advance in your current role, we provide the guidance you need to succeed. So jump online. You'll be able to find the website ZDS, I think it's .com.au, but unlock your career potential. Start your journey with Tim Balaban, and he's been a fantastic supporter from day one, but now also monetarily he has given us a significant amount of money for us to be able to, again, hopefully reinvest into the community in some way, shape or form.
And he was hugely thankful for all of the support that everyone that the whole appeal garnered, and that came out obviously with and the people put their money where their mouth is. So he was just kept thanking these thanks. So mate, anytime, that's what we are. We're a community. We're out there to support one another. So anytime things like that happen, I think that's where we demonstrate how good of a community we are, and how we can pat ourselves on the back sometimes as an adult. We're pretty good sometimes.
Exactly.
We're thinking about, like, when you're talking about like recovering and drinking and stuff like that, what I've noticed over the last 17 episodes is that our highest viewership there's a correlation between the amount of alcohol we drink and the amount of viewers that we get. And that one was obviously the most we drank, and the viewership was unbelievable. I think we're approaching 9,500 views on that show, which is absolutely incredible.
We've hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, which means I got an email saying you can now put in some banking details or whatever, and possibly like a 500 subscribers isn't going to, we're not Kim Kardashian or whatever with 40 million.
We're getting there.
100 million or whatever it is. But
wait till I get my tits done. Then you're anyway, I'm halfway there. But
maybe me and Stoll should make a sex tape, and more people will watch. Ali, 500 subscribers on YouTube, over 1,600 now on Instagram. Which again, we're not prolific on Instagram, but we put up one reel a week, and hopefully everyone liked last night's reel.
That was a good one.
That I put up. I was tired as anything. I didn't go to the game, so I didn't feel 100%. I went to the Metallica concert on Saturday night, so that was interesting, I guess. Seeing 62-year-old bloke with nail polish singing songs that I sang 50 years ago.
How was it? Was it a good show? Like, I wanted to ask you about it.
It was good, yeah. I don't know. I was expecting more moshes and people jumping. There was no one jumping around anymore. There's a handful of maybe 20 guys in one corner moshing out of 50,000 people or whatever. So I thought it was going to be, like you remember that 1989 Pretty Little Cars concert where the whole crowd jumping. Nobody.
Nothing like that.
Nothing. And I'm going, mate, because there's all old people like me.
Well, that's the whole
arthritis and shit.
Everyone's in their 60s now, but I'm just thinking, like, I go, look, I was going to go. I thought it was too tame, so I went to the women's the leadership conference, Croatian Women in Leadership Conference.
That's why you want to get you. No.
That's why well, pepped up. That was, what was really good, really positive. It was nice to see. We were standing at the front as everyone was walking in, and every lady, and I'm telling you, every single lady that walked in had a massive smile on their face. They were just energized, loving life, and you go, this is the positivity. This is the thing, We're forming wonderful human beings, women. We're forming leaders, whether they're women, men, or it doesn't matter.
Was that Langham?
At the Langham, which is
high-end establishment. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I got the venue it deserved, I think, and the stage, I guess. Yeah. A lot of younger women as well.
It was mixed. It was mixed, like from say early 20s to and beyond.
We don't like to ask his age.
So no, we don't. Look, none of them looked a day over 40, but you know what I mean. They were all...
So you got your fill of estrogen for the weekend. You're now.
I've got my estrogen injection.
So you want to? What do you want? Aperol spritz, or you want a cruiser, or?
I think I'll stick with the Palinko. Thanks very much.
But here we go. Pozdrav Dečki had a great time last week. Took me all Tuesday to recover, but what a show. Major Minor, new guys, best. Someone upgrade, and that's Rob Stalker from last week. Again, great supporter of our show. And what a collection of tops he had last week, man. People were asking me about, is that really true that it was still, you could smell it and it was dirty? Yeah, mate, 100%. Tommy Kernjak. Croatia under 17s have qualified to the next round of the World Cup.
I was going to bring that up.
Is there 2 Crow youth teams now playing in competitions, or is it just a 17s?
I only saw the 17s. I think it's only 17s, but I really pretty comfortable 3-1 win over Costa Rica this morning. They're just going from strength to strength. Start off with a 0-0 draw against Senegal, smash the UAE 3-0, and then beat Costa Rica pretty comprehensively 3-1 into the last 32. Now knockout phase. I'm not sure who they're going to play, but every single game they come out better and better. You know what? And they're coming out. There's a bit of a strike force there. You know, they're really looking potent up front. So I know we've been a bit light on centre forwards as of late. I was hoping Berlio might be that one, but he had a shocker. He had an absolute shocker this morning.
This morning he missed a sitter apparently that will never live down, and Dinamo is in a bit of turmoil, I think, now internally as well. I don't know what the hell's happening there. They're talking about Boban calling some emergency meeting. Will the coach survive? Mio Albert hasn't messaged me all week because they've lost 2 games against Celta Vigo now and against Istra, so he's been a bit quiet on the texts on that. But Hajduk, we're keeping a lid on it. We are now 4 or 5 points clear. More consistent Hajduk this year. That's the difference, I think, with previous years. 1, we weren't too excited, thinking we're going to win the league after 2 games. And 2, they're doing it without the Levajas and the Rebiches and that performing. It's the Šegos, it's the Krovinovic has stepped up, who used to get bagged a lot. He's actually stepped up. He's captain. And he's scoring goals and being a real leader, I think.
Even Pukstas has sort of gone back to that form he had prior to Gattuso coming back to Hajduk, because he had a really quiet season last season.
Exactly. But here we go, Dave. Look at the saying. Every wedding Major Minor does from now on will have to have it's got an expectation of 6 to 7 hours of non-stop singing.
Well, that's what happens anyway, isn't it?
And don't tell everyone, Spolge, but I ordered myself one of those Cajon drums.
How cool are they?
I bought one.
They're good. They're really good. I love banging on that thing. I'll tell you what. But speaking of Dave Lakota, he brought up a thing about a parcel getting delivered to the cop shop. And then I found out a little bit more about it this week, is where there was the Sunshine office and the West Melbourne office both got like a whole suckling pig delivered to each one. And then everyone was shitting themselves going, oh my God, what does this mean? You know, this is a burnt pig. Are they trying to say something? Is this coming from? Whatever. In the meantime, Dame Likota's smashing it. Then they go, what are you doing? You're eating evidence here. It could be poison. Whatever. They stopped him. And what they found out at the end was it was delivered by a Vietnamese guy who couldn't write in English. So that's why I didn't believe it. No. And he was happy with some service that he received from there. It was actually on that rumour mill on 3OW. They were talking about it, and I asked Flop, I go, was it good? He goes, needed salt. I go, you know what? No one can cook a carcass like us Croats.
No, they don't put salt in. And when they put the knife in, they open that opening and they pour salt into the opening before.
To je to.
I onda bluraš in there.
A svinjetina mora biti slano.
Must be.
Must.
Now, Dave Juric reckons we should just keep drinking. What are you saying, Dave? We're not interesting if we don't drink alcohol. That's probably true.
I think that's what he's saying.
I reckon that's true. Rose is saying, who made a cameo last week, no lines in the women's toilet at the Metallica concert. Men's toilet, there were lines. It was good to be a chick, which, first time ever. Blokes were lining up. It was massive. But it was 50,000 people or whatever, and there was probably 49,500 blokes.
Well, I say, thanks God there was no lines at the Langham either for at the men's toilet at the Crow women.
Tim Balaban, thanks again for everyone's support. And PodroomTV, you guys are truly legenders. Marcos Samardzic is truly grateful, as am I. Let's keep continuing to back one another. So, yes, and Tim did reach out straight away and said to pass on my thanks to everybody, or our thanks, and the Barmer crew who I saw the screenshot which Marco sent to him saying, who are these guys? Because it just said Barmer crew and initials or whatever it was, and I let him know who they were, and also reached out and I spoke to them. Actually, I saw them at Dinamo during the week as well. Mio Albert has shown up. It says, lol. Yeah, lol, we're lolling. 3-0 to Celta Vigo by half-time. That was an absolute... It was a blight on Croatian football, that game. A blight. It brought shame to our country and to our families. It was... but
it's not consistent performances. Actually, Eastern has been really consistent. And they finished off last season almost finishing in the top 4, so they almost got a UEFA spot. And this season they're continuing on there. I don't know, they're doing well. Sloan Belup was doing well. Rijeka have shit themselves. They're second last.
Yeah.
Vukovar's got a chance to.
Is Vucica
Is
maybe?
Vucica, you know, and they're just at their tops.
Yeah. Oh, the new ones.
With the Vodotorang there on the front. Look,
amazing.
Beautiful.
But then Mio does also say, Samo Dinamo, respect to the turnout in Split for the protests. So there was a protest in Split, I think it was yesterday.
Mhm.
Very nice to see. So there's some very unhappy people in some parts of Crow in
we're
relation to
touch
certain
on a bit
government
of
policy.
that. We might wait till George comes
Yeah.
on board as girls, get a journalistic point of view on all of that and talk about certain inequities that are
That's it.
between
But who
us
do
and
we
our
have
neighbours.
today as a guest, which I mentioned? Actually, just one more quick one. Litch from Perth has flicked through the round of 16 full-time results of the Football World Cup 2025. Croatia defeated, I dare say that's an African country's flag there on the right-hand side. I'm not too sure if it's someone like a Senegal or one of those ones. 2-1. Angel Jr., 40th minute, and Jay Sprigg, 48th minute for a 2-1 win, which brings them to the quarterfinals. This Saturday, 16th of November, 6 p.m., Croatia versus Iraq. Proto DPS Stadium in Inglewood. 6 p.m. kickoff this Saturday. If
Rolls
you're in
off the
Perth,
tongue, doesn't it?
it does. If you want to watch Croatia play Iraq in the quarters, let's see the WA Crows go all the way this season. But big game, 6 p.m. this Saturday night there at Inglewood. But some quick photos there of Connor Reserve as well. You can see a lot of young people. And I didn't tell you this, Bulge, because I didn't go to the game. My 2 older kids went to the game, and then I said, you got to meet me at Northland after they get dropped off, and I'll take Tommy to Time Zone or whatever it was quickly. Walk out of Northland through the food court downstairs out the back of the Hoyts, walking out into the car park, and there's a grilled restaurant outside.
Okay.
It's on the outside.
Yeah.
I see Bumpy, oh, Jesus, there's a couple of Crow kids in that grilled, and then there's a whole table full of Crow boys and a whole nother table full of Crow girls, and they start a PodroomTV chant in the middle of Northland in Preston, Melbourne's north, right next to Olympic Village there. So
Yep.
Heidelberg was playing
Yep.
yesterday as well. And you hear PodroomTV, ale, coming out of a grilled restaurant.
That was probably
Ridiculous.
louder than the chants coming from Olympic Village. No
It
doubt.
was. So I did notice the first one I saw was Christian Pericic. I saw him first through the plastic, and there's Marcus Rage, and everybody else. And then they started a chant, which was quite good. So they came straight from the Preston game. But you can see in these images a lot of young people, very colourful crowd, I guess. I'm pretty much on the whole well behaved.
No, you could hear them throughout the game as well. I
Yeah.
only watched the highlights as well, but
And they got to see a decent game of soccer. I think it was a good game. Now, from what I watched on
No.
TV, at least, it was a decent game. A lot of chances on both sides. Canberra really gave.
I think the first half, particularly,
Gave it a
Canberra had a
crack.
lot of chances there. Could have put the game away. Preston did come back at the end by the looks of it, just going by the chances, but still 0-0. Connor
That's-
Reserve
We'll
still
take it.
alive, still in it.
But tonight's guests, who do we have, Spolge?
Oh, we have the very esteemed George Sabljak from the Hrvatski Vjesnik. Or should I call him Jure Zoran or Zoran Jure?
Juraj. But the Hrvatski Vjesnik, it's basically an institution that's been part of our community for decades, absolute decades. Welcome, George. Welcome to the Podroom, and thanks for joining us here in person. After last week's sesh, you've probably had to drink some, I don't know, what do you usually drink so not to get a hangover? Milk or olive oil? You take a teaspoon thinking, what am I coming in for? Ali, welcome. It's good to have you. You got the old, is it a new or an old Vjesnik t-shirt on there?
New one, mate.
The new one?
New one, mate. Just,
Oh, it's got-
advertising our online
It's got
presence.
it's got the website.
Thanks for having me,
On
guys. I just impressed. We're in half an hour into it. You haven't mentioned the billiard, so well done.
Oh,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to the show.
But we, Debelak did get a 2-1 away victory to Velebit Benkovac. We were sitting top until Abeceda Sport won their game 4-0 against, I don't know who they played, Polacha or something like that. But we're still top 2 with a sensation. They go with a surprise packet, they called us in the newspaper over there.
Yep.
Ali,
100 miles an hour heading towards the Premier League.
yes.
Pretty impressed with last week's show, boys. It's a good stint.
You watched all of it?
I fast forwarded bits and pieces, and then I went back, and then in the end, like I said to you before we started, if you asked me one thing what was discussed, I couldn't tell you.
Neither could we.
We're yeah, it's pretty similar. We can't remember what we
could we.
discussed.
For the Hrvatski Vjesnik, many of our vintage remember getting the hard copy, if not getting it for your parents, going down to the local newsagents, making sure it was there, or your parents bringing it home or buying it at church or whatever it might have been. But we also remember the days when you'd go into your local newsagents and you'd have Hrvatski Vjesnik, Srpski glas, Novosti, whatever it was, Makedonski this and all that. And you'd always get the Vjesnik pile and you'd either put it on top, you'd push these other ones to the back, you'd hide them, you'd stick some Maltese newspaper over the top of them or Sakrit or whatever.
Yep.
But they were good times, and that was the old hard copies. I'll bring out a couple of old articles that I've got. But these days, it's gone very much digital, George. So tell us a bit about yourself first as the editor, a bit about the sort of the history of, I don't know, because there's some very famous names that have been editors of the Vjesnik, and now your time.
We've only ever had 4 editors of the Vjesnik. So I think I have to check the years, but I think I may be the longest editor. Then either myself or Pokoni Tom, who was a giant in the community and a big loss in 2007.
Is that long ago now?
2007.
It's 18 years, 17, 18 years.
Wow. I can't.
Anyone who knew Tom knew that he was just a magnet. People would just gravitate to him at a Zaba. Poor guy would be, he's only 60 kilos, but everyone would be just around him. Look, he was a well-read person.
He was.
I always thought if I could only be half of the editor that he was, I'd be doing a good job.
I've got a photo of Tom that I've pre-populated. There he goes, Tom Starchevich. He was my editor when I spent some time writing for the Vjesnik back in the early 90s, I think. So putting clips together and walking it across the car park at Clifton Hill to Tom to be able to stick on that graph paper and glue it down and have it ready for the publishers and then get it printed all on time and stuff. But yeah,
literally cut and paste.
It was cut and paste, hard copy, print it in a certain font or size or whatever it was. Yeah, and then cut it with a Stanley knife and make sure it fit inside the lines and stuff. And it was a tough slog, and he'd be in there standing up at that drafting table or whatever and just cut and you could smell the glue, and sometimes Taunchy would be in there as well, if not usually always. And yeah, we did the English pages back in the day, the old New Generation, as I think Taunchy's. Did he start that, New Gen? And then it sort of was handed over to the CSA, or was it CSA pages which became the New Gen?
I think CSA was first, and then Taunchy became the New Gen editor. I think the name went through a change somewhere in the 90s.
Because it went from 2 pages to 8 pages at one stage,
right.
yeah.
2, 4, then 8, and then we just before we went to the digital edition, we dropped it down to I think 4 because a lot of the stuff we were producing now at that time earlier this year we went online with, and yeah, but 1983 was the first ever edition, and while
Always remember the year 1983 with good reason as well.
did Stocker give you any of his tops that he brought you?
I think they were worth a bit. They were worth a lot of money. Some of those.
This is gold.
What have we got here?
There's not many of these going around.
Wow.
I'm sure you'll find.
I reckon I know what this is.
You need those cotton gloves, like in the archives.
Let me just, if you want to.
I'm a bit small, so the less I
Was prvi broj.
Wow.
Hrvatski Vjesnik, you hold one side.
Wow.
Number 1, volume 1, Tuesday, 16 August 1983. Ovaj list pokreće udruženje 10 hrvatskih društva i organizacija zato što smatraju da postojeći tisak ne udovoljava potrebama zajednice. So it is a first edition Hrvatski Vjesnik in pretty mint condition, barely a crease. Yeah. And then you got the front, and you got the back, and you got who you got on the back?
Lost to Juve 3-2.
Croatia losing to Juventus, and you got a picture of Tommy Cummings.
Beat Auburn.
Tommy Cummings, Hrvati Kambere playing basketball u košarci bez poraza. Zabava, where's his Centenary Hall, Cox Road, Nor Lane. Zabava u dvorani Olympic Park, number 2, 7 sati navečer. I was probably there. John Gardner, who passed away this week.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. He's on the back. Here you go. How's that in a small world when you have Melbourne Croatia and Preston Lions and other clubs, legend. He's on the back page of the first edition of the Hrvatski Vjesnik. Check, that is amazing stuff.
Can you just check that George's microphone's working because everyone's saying they can't hear him when he speaks? So no, definitely not.
All right.
Oh, it's out. Hang on.
That.
We'll just share one over here. So
Oh, shit.
I think you'll be able to hear you now. It's wow, incredible stuff. And I remember when this came out. I actually do remember after church at Clifton Hill coming out, and
Yeah.
everyone coming out, and look, there's that famous drawing
Tavlic. Of
Sveti
Tavlic.
Nikola Tavlic.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe that. This is actually dangerous that I'm holding this because, like I said, I'm smotan.
Well,
hopefully we
it's
can
a gift to you guys to hang
Oh,
up
wow.
wherever you want. So, like I said, you know, Stocker
should be working
could have given you one of his tops, but he didn't. But I'll
Give us
you
a thumbs up. It should be working now, I reckon, George, as well and truly.
Can you hear me, guys? Yeah.
I think
see
you
this.
so. Yeah,
The bar is definitely moving.
you're gonna keep that because that's a gift to PodroomTV.
That will go into some kind of vacuum
We're gonna-
sealed
yeah.
frame, I think.
Yeah,
and
we'll have
it will
to.
take pride of place. Yeah, we've got a couple of little bits and bobs that can also always be easily moved. But Yoda, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That is an absolutely magnificent piece
Please,
of
guys.
Croatian
Can-
Australian
yeah.
history.
And
So
I just want
yours
to
will-
congratulate you two guys on what you're doing. I think it's really important. I know that's a lot of they bunch here, but you know, like, and actually, when I told the Jenna that I was coming on, she says, "Don't just say anything stupid." I
Is she saying
I said,
that,
"Jenna,
it's
have
a
you ever-
prerequisite."
Have you seen the show?
Is that what is it? Yeah, she's, what are you saying there, Mr. Sabljak?
And I said, if there's one chance that I get to say something stupid, it's probably here because wherever I go, I'm expected to have that. I don't know, Neshta Osbino.
You're amongst
Yeah.
friends.
Yes.
So you can't say something stupid with your mates. Where can you say it?
But I tell you what, it's
She's
true.
good.
Whether you got 9,500 views or not, it's like you are just.
You've got a responsibility.
But I don't know if you've got a responsibility, but I feel like I'm just talking to friends, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that's probably one of the things that's drawing people to this because
Yeah.
you're just having the conversation like we all do. We're just
Exactly,
doing it on air.
So that was a Zimbabwean flag before that we're looking at.
I think-
So
was
just,
that?
yeah, I
It's a
just,
Zimbabwean
I
flag.
couldn't see it clearly enough, but yes. But Frank Music, again, he's flicking through some messages, telling Christo Maric to shush, saying Hajduk živi vječno, but and now there go these two are going at it.
Yeah.
Frank Music, make sure Crna is ready in the morning. Papaj Zorane says Mio Albert.
Onya mio. But just going back to your 1983 was when we started, which a lot of people were behind the Vjesnik then, and one of the key figures was, of course, Karsic himself.
Yeah.
He was one of the biggest proponents and champions of the Vjesnik, and almost to his death, he was still very much a person that was heavily involved to ensure that it succeeded. And so a lot of thanks goes to him, not just for the Vjesnik, but for all the other things that he did in the community. And 1983, Rob, did you know what in common with that?
I do know what's in common with that. That's why I'll never forget when Vjesnik started in 1983. Slatki San
That's
started in
right.
1983
And
as
you
well.
know, we gave them one of the breaks.
Really?
Yeah, at Springvale Town Hall. We were playing. I was in a band called Mladi Hrvati, and no, we didn't steal the name, but there was myself, a few other guys, and midway through the Zabava, Danny Lukatic rocks up with 5 or 6 cleanty. Like these kids were like 14, 15 or whatever, and they go, "George, can they have can they play one in between your sets?" So I go, "Oh, yeah, all right, give the kids a no, they did to me, like." Mate, when I heard George play Nespo Malamoy, I was just like, "Hey, oh,
Yeah, keep the microphone, boys.
yeah." Mate, from that moment, I went, "That's unbelievable." What they just, they were only, I think, if from memory, maybe 13 or 14.
Yeah, I think it was something like
Like the Battle of Bands. You know,
Yeah. But that's how we got our start as a band. Like, you go in and Vis was playing or Zagreb, and you just say, "Hey, can we play in between your sets and have a bit of a?"
Actually, George would have been 16, but he was there 16 playing Eruption from Van Halen,
And I've still got a copy of that somewhere on tape.
Yeah.
And I told him he plays it better than Van Halen.
I don't know. You'll definitely play it better than him now, but that's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were mentioning Burco earlier, so the first editor. of
Also,
the
Ivan
Vjesnik.
Butkovic, he was the first editor. He moved back to Croatia and did had a journalistic spell in Sarajevo, actually, of all places, during the height of the the siege and all
Oh,
that sort
yeah.
of thing. So he was quite involved there. Tom took over after him, and when he passed away, Tonchi took over for about 4 years. And then I got tapped on the shoulder in 2011, and I said, I'll give it a couple of years. It's like, how's that working out for you?
How is that working out for you?
Well, 15 years later, nearly, yeah. It's
How are you feeling about it? You're tired? You're
first off,
rejuvenated?
I've got to admit, when I took over, and Tonchi had just handed over, and it was me as the first edition, I literally had knots in my stomach that night because I didn't know what I was doing, whether it was going to get it. The deadlines are very real because there's a whole chain of events that happen if you don't meet a deadline, like the distributors. The trucks come to pick up the paper. If there's no paper, they don't distribute. They don't distribute people's...
And they still charge you probably for it as well by turning up.
Oh, mate, it's like... it was a tough couple of years before. Then by the time you get into the swing of things, I had a lot of help in the early days with Damir. He was on board with Rob Katovic. And then we moved to a model where we had people from home, from Croatia, that were helping out. Look, it was a financial decision at the time too, but in another sense, you felt good because you were giving people over there some work to do. And and it was a really, that sort of arrangement lasted up until the end of the year last year.
So, tell us about the series of events that led up to late last year. So, you've gone from a weekly newspaper, has been since 1983, but the thing's just losing money.
Yeah,
and thankfully to Mr. Ivan Filipovic for
100%,
financing this for last number of years, because without him, it just would have stopped years ago.
We can't emphasise that enough. It was a meeting that Ivan and I had. 2018, of all places, in Gold Coast at the tourney, and I said to him, look, we're in this situation, it's a community paper, it needs a voice, it is losing money, if you can help out, that'd be great. If not, look, we're going to have to simply shut the doors on it. And it wasn't an immediate decision from him by any chance. He's like, I'll give it I'll think about it. But he did. He came to the party, him and Carter. And since then, they've been very, very instrumental in terms of financing, bankrolling, and helping out, and advising as well, in terms of the direction and a lot of the content and things like that. But the same token, the guys at Bruce Media have been fantastic as well. Davey Devortic, who cut his teeth at the.
It was a rise to fame, starting at the Viersnik, Dave Devortic. So many of you know Dave from what would have been.
Actually, did he start doing the Viersnik first, or was he doing the
Viersnik first?
The match day program.
Oh, match day program, Melbourne Knights. Yes,
I reckon he did that first
as well. Sandra Chorich, I remember, was involved in that. That was a tough gig to follow up after. I think when we came on board, and that was a lot of work. So you think it's just a little booklet that goes out every week, whatever, mate. This was a big job, every single home game, to put this thing together. Yeah, started at the Viersnik, then where did he go? Geelong Advertiser. From Geelong Advertiser to the West Australian.
Oh, I didn't know about that. But
yeah. From the West Australian, he ended up on like Optus or Foxtel or whatever. He used to do live from. He'd be live from Premier League games overseas and shit.
Fox Sports.
Fox Sports.
Yeah.
And then came back as a chief soccer writer for the Herald Sun.
Yeah.
All started off in that little room at the back of the Viersnik there at the Clifton Hill, or even
There was a couple there. I think.
Tonchi went to the Addy as well.
And a guy called Alan Rados. I don't know if you remember him.
Of course.
Yeah,
was
he ended up launching, I think, at the time, News Online or something, News Sports. It was a huge deal at the time that he was in charge of.
And don't forget me, I worked for Večernji List, a cadetship, an internship. I went for a tender process for that. There was an actual scholarship process, and I got it. One of two kids, the other one's from Škabrnja. And also wrote for Zadarski, I wrote for Slobodna, for match reports and soccer and all that sort of stuff. But yes, I did dip my toe into the real life of a journalist.
And that's, you shouldn't in any way dismiss that, because you were an integral part of the Viersnik during the Tom Starich years. And I think you showed me your little scrapbook earlier. You want to bring that out?
I have a couple of these. Look at these, mate. These are scrapbooks of every CSA, Croatian Students Association, article in English. Grab that one first. I think this is the first lot that we did. So myself, Ana Shumanovic, Suzy Marek at the time, now Suzy Kolic, Anthony Bacic, Anthony Babic, Senka Šestan was involved, Jana Pupic, Tudjman visits, Boost Australia relations. We had albums. Here we go. Prva Liga. I wrote a music review on Kuzma Shaka Zulu in memory of Ante Malic. So we've seen his name pop up this week. Chris Malik was talking about his cousin Ante. We had a little in memoriam there for a talk of the town. There was all sorts of, but we had the old CSA logo. There was 2 English pages in the Vjesnik every week. Tisi Zanishta with Ante from St. Albans. That was Tonchi. It was good fun. But again, the deadlines, like you said, Cronet, bringing Croatia to you. Was that Tony Schaefer?
Yeah,
Did Cronet?
it was Cronet. Yeah.
Yeah, Cronet, Melbourne. Facts about Croatia education. Bila gig guide. Again, it was huge fun. It was only 2 pages, but again, it was a lot of work and a lot of pressure trying to get these things to Tom on time and cut them to size and cut them to shape.
But that's an exciting part of the whole procedure as well, the deadline, making sure that, and there was often all-nighters pulled.
Yeah.
And try to go to sleep after that, yeah?
No, that's right. But pretty much, there's copies. I've got the originals as well, but I've put these all into Ante Starčević. There's also the split tournament, a success. You got a picture. Look at that, Les Hacker. All day, look. In the Patrick jersey I brought back to him from Osijek in 1994. Jesus Christ. Last Sunday, 25th of February, 1995. There you go. So 30 years ago. Hrvatski nogometni klub Glenroy Split held its first 5-a-side soccer tournament for the year at Billy Wojtek Reserve in Broadmeadows. Temperature was in the 30s. My goodness. Ludnica.
But what you and it's something I've always said is the Vjesnik is not there to break news. It's actually there to document the Croatian community's journey over the last, 4 decades, 5 decades or so. And what you've just shown me there's a perfect example of that, where things that you've done, contributed to, Tonchi and, people like that over the years that have come and gone. But Tonchi's back now, which is great.
It's like it's back to the future.
Yeah, and we've got also, one of our biggest contributors, of course, is, Susana, like Susana Fanta. She's a machine.
Churns photos. She started off just pretty much photos originally.
Yeah, she's like, I'd say she's pretty much doing about a third, if not more, of the content for the.
Yeah, every time I open up any article, it's written by
and she's also got time to still do stuff around Clifton Hill for the Zhulpa and for everything else. So she's just great time management skills. Susana Fanta.
She's just inspired, I think. She's coming out. She's doing that. She really is. And she's coming out and she's doing everything for the right reasons.
We've talked about it a fair bit, and I talk about it with people all the time, is that, look, the Vjesnik was always a solid, good newspaper with solid content in it. But since it's gone to this digital version, and also now with Tonchi there, Bruce Media, Dave Davutovic, Susana Fantov, and everybody else, the quality of the content, of the production, of everything is it's gone from 0 to 100. I'm not saying that it was bad. It is just.
Oh no, we look. All we were doing before that was just posting stuff on Facebook and hoping it would. But now there's a lot of production behind it, which you can tell with Emily, with her.
She's doing a fantastic job.
Emily Martic at she's employed by Bruce Media, but she's actually working on the Vjesnik account. We've also got a few of the guys in the background, Jacob and James Barr, and Dave, of course, is marshalling the troops there and making sure everything runs properly. We've got Matt Windley as well, who's a former sportscaster.
Yes, he's a well-known name in sports.
So he's involved as well, and he's running most of the monthly edition, would you believe it? Because he loves it. He just actually loves that whole print edition experience. And to answer your question, look, it was a decision. It wasn't. We didn't actually pull the trigger on going digital. This decision took a couple of years. And it was a decision Ivan and Kathy anguished over for a couple of years as to when we would do it, because there were still a fair few people in that generation that were buying the hard copy on a weekly basis. So much to their disappointment in terms of, missing out on it, we needed to focus on what we thought the direction and the best direction for the Vjesnik was. So that's why we decided to keep a monthly edition, which is now, I think, in its 6th or 7th print. It started in April. April 2nd was the first edition. So April, May, June, July, August. So for about 6 or 7 editions now. So we've got one coming up, obviously, in November, which most of the focus will be on Vukovar. On the back of Jean-Michel Nicolier, and I've been speaking to Marco as well in the background, and we're doing a special piece on him. and his journey in burying his brother. So that'll be the focus of the November edition. And then we go into Christmas, where we'll think we're going to do a December, January edition to cover 2 months there.
Yeah.
How are you going with that monthly one as well? I mean, are you still selling a lot of copies? Is it?
Look, what destroys us as a newspaper, any newspaper that for that matter, is distribution. It's like you think you sell a copy for $10. Out of that $10, you might only be left with 3 or 4 if you're lucky, because distribution takes it freight, and then the news agents take their cut, and then by the time everybody takes their, slice, you're left with nothing. And even if you increase the price, you just increase their portion.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You're not increasing your percentage of it.
Yeah.
But where is it? Is it still for sale in all news agencies like it used to be?
If people go on the far right-hand side, they'll be able to see on the website where you can actually buy. A lot of people don't know that, but on the website we've listed all of the outlets where you can purchase a copy.
Okay.
But the best way to do it is to go online and subscribe. It'll cost you, I think, $100 if you pay up front for a year, and you get the digital copy mailed out to you, and you get all the access online as well. Failing that, we're also pretty heavily on pushing the $4 subscription.
Hopefully,
which
you
is
can all see it on the screen now. Shared screen. Fingers crossed you can see. So that's the link that you'll see sliding across the bottom of the screen for the rest of the show. But it's viesnik.com.au/purchase-subscription. $4, which is billed monthly, so access to every monthly magazine digitally.
Well, you can go yearly. You can pay for it yearly. You get a discount again on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, and you've got you click on yearly. It goes $41 for the year. Or if you go digital and physical, it's either $10 a month or $102 billed yearly. Every month, receive a physical copy of the Viesnik. Now, you know what we'll do, Spolge?
No, it's not on.
It's not coming up.
No, it's not coming
balls.
up. Sorry, I'm waiting for the delay. Oh no, it did come up.
It did come up.
No, it did. It came up.
It
It came up. Yeah, it's this bloody delay. Sorry.
That's all right. But what we might do, Spolge, PodroomTV, are we able to? Yeah, we'll have a competition.
Yeah.
For 2 lucky winners, Vecheras, for 2 yearly subscriptions of that digital and physical.
Perfect.
Which will cover the cost of, and the 2 winners will get their details, and then
we're spending some of Timmy's money, eh?
Yeah, Timmy, mate, we're just going to go like this, mate. We're going to buy.
Oh yeah, Timmy.
Well, yeah. In the meantime, you can think of 2 questions as well that we can ask that are worthy recipients. You don't have to do it now, but just in the meantime, if you're at the back of your mind.
If I don't do it tonight, I might text you. No,
it doesn't have. Actually, it doesn't. Yeah, we could even do it next.
But there'll be. We'll give away 2. Mate, we'll see. 2 for now, and then by the end of the year, I reckon we'll probably do another 2. But we'll give 2 lucky yearly physical and digital subscriptions to 2 lucky winners of a competition, which George will think of something. And or if Tonchi or anyone else is listening, Brucey, let us know as well. But you've got Yuri Andrea, who says, Veliki pozdrav. Hi, guys. Thanks for getting George on. Big cheerio to George, Susie, Tonchi, and the whole team. Their names escaped me. Sorry, at the Viesnik. Samo Napri.
They escape me a lot too. I hope I don't forget everybody. But there's a big team that's involved. It's not just simply myself and Susanna and Tonchi. There's a lot of people that are working behind the scenes, who don't get a mention, and a lot of them are at Bruce Media. So I think I have mentioned a few of them with Emily. Isabel Smallcore as well. She's involved. She puts together an article once a week on something that is of interest to her kind of generation. And then occasionally we'll get guest, what do you call them, columnists. Like Željko Dogan, he's
he's
written a fantastic piece on Vukovar which I thought didn't do it justice to put online. It should go in a printed edition and be recorded that way. So that'll be coming out in this next edition. Just a brilliant piece on what the remembrance of Vukovar should teach us, not just us, but current generations and those that are coming.
Generations, yeah.
But,
lessons to be learned from that tragedy.
But there's a certain Marissa that says Pamet Uglavu.
Is that my daughter?
Is that what you used to say to her?
And here we go. Alan Rados was editor at Herald Sun, and he was also a radio announcer on 3RRR in its early days. Dance Till Dawn. Thank you, Tony Girgic. Dance Till Dawn. I could just imagine the Depeche Mode and whatever else it on that. Yeah, it wasn't Metal for Melbourne or Metal Mayhem. It was Dance Till Dawn. Johnny. So Johnny Vornich, Is
Johnny.
that a name? I've only recently discovered the Viesnik online. Absolutely love it. Bravo, George, and thank you from Johnny Vornich.
Is that Timmy Vornich's brother? Is it?
Could be a start of Vornich, I see. Viesnik has been a staple of the Croatian community. What is George's most memorable article or piece over the years? That's from Petar Finka, one of our biggest listeners and contributors in terms of.
I'll give you a few blunders as well, because we've all had them. But look, I guess one of the most memorable ones was, Tudjman's visit. Any presidential visit, I think, is worthy of. Although I wasn't the editor at the time, obviously, but there is that famous image of Tudjman holding the Viesnik.
I thought I uploaded it. I've got it saved to my computer, but
that was taken in Geelong at the centre, community centre. That's
iconic photo.
Yeah, that's an iconic photo, which we obviously have multiple copies of, which I didn't bring any of. So sorry about that.
Sorry.
Look, Kalinda's visit was memorable as well for many reasons. Until we won't go there. But at the time she was at her peak. She was at the peak of her popularity. I mean, who can forget? Sunshine selling out literally in minutes with the presidential visit. I got to interview her as well, albeit briefly, but we did get a sit down with her, and she, that was a memorable issue. Look, some of the sadder ones, obviously, I always remember the front cover of the Viesnik of Tom Starchwich too. That sort of sticks in my mind as well. But there's been many over the years. Obviously, look, when we covered 2018 World Cup with those photos and the reception at the Trug was just like, and I actually was watching this unfold live, and I'm trying to do the paper as well. So I'm thinking, like, I've got to change everything now. This is too big. Like,
the whole month was days. It was kind of
surreal.
It was. I don't remember sleeping much. I just remember going into the next game, going, "Oh, I've got another game."
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. And and then the thing.
You've never experienced that before.
No, it was
Never
ridiculous.
experienced that. And then we've talked about that before, and even in previous episodes. But you can't overstate how big that is, because, like you said, we were all growing up. When you're talking about now, Viesnik started in '83. You go all the way from '83 right up to 1990.
Yeah,
you don't even know if Croatia was ever going to be, like a country. Like when 1990 came, you go, "Oh, this might happen," and then the war started, and then all of that. But growing up, you go, you're going to your friends. We will be, independent one day. We will have a country, and then not only that, you're making the final of the World Cup. It was surreal.
Look, there's been so many moments, and one that comes to mind too was the 91. I think it was 91 in August or September. The demonstration in Canberra.
Yeah, it was 40,000 people.
Like, that was just something that I could not even believe was happening, because I was with the guys, Pokojni Stanko Kovac, who was organising all of the audio. So he had all the rite of passage to go through, and we were actually at Parliament House, and people still hadn't left Commonwealth Park, which was 2 or 3 kilometres away, I think, from memory. Yeah. That's how many, and this wasn't 2 or 3 abreast wide. It was like 8, 9, 10 people wide. It was
buses. We left from Clifton Hill on the bus here. My mum.
Yeah,
that
was one moment too in our history as a community. As a country, I mean, there's been so many. The release of Gotovina and Markac, that was a huge deal, because it exonerated us as a people. It wasn't just a decision for them. It was something that we'd been as a narod accused of war crimes and genocide, and that exonerated us, and that was such a huge relief for.
Yeah. That's what it meant at the end of the day, wasn't it? It was just it was justified.
Yeah. Kuma Tanya says, "Hey, Kuma." Tanya Bilanjic.
Oh, hey, Tanj.
Stoka saying, "Zora, ne udaraj po stolu." Timmy Balaban, great work, George and the team at Bruce Media and the Viesnik. Thank you for arranging a write-up on Marko Samardžić, his emotional trip, and no problem. I know my money will be well spent. Živjeli. There you go. So, Timbo, just an absolute.
Flopper had a question here. He's asking if you're related to the magistrate Sabljak.
Is it magistrate?
Apparently.
Good to know if I ever get into.
Yeah, but you're probably the one.
So I think that's a no.
You're the one that won't get let out on bail.
There's a magistrate, Sabljak.
Apparently, yes.
No, to answer the question, no, I'm not. But I might need to just have him in my contact.
just in case.
You never know.
Now, Rosie's asking, in the Viesnik archives, do you have every single physical copy ever printed? There used to be that book.
Blue
It was-
books, yeah. Yeah, we've got those.
They do. Yes,
Yeah.
Rose, they
They're in
do.
a secret location.
Yeah.
Where we're not exactly sure on how to. We know how to preserve them. You just keep them locked up in a room, but what to do with them? We brought them out for our 35th anniversary in Sunshine when we had a celebration there. And I can tell you now, a lot of people spent time at those tables at the back where we laid them out, then dancing or listening to. They were literally flicking through and pointing out, and people who are no longer with us, the events that happened over the years. So yeah, the answer to your question is yes, we do have them.
There you go.
Yep, we are missing one year, and I'm not sure which one it is. And I think
This one. See which one. If it's a 94, 3, 4, 5 or somewhere, I may have it here in its original
I
form.
think it was 87, something like that. I'm pretty sure one of those. But anyway, look, we've got just about all of them. Yeah.
Uncle Page, Stan saying, interesting fact, George was a member singer with Slutky San in the mid-80s.
That's true. That was 85, 86. Danny Lukatic was the drummer. He was a bit of a unhinged sort of character. I think he still is.
I think a little bit.
Is that one of the many Lukatic brothers?
No, it's funnily enough, when we came to Australia, it was his parents that sponsored us here in 1970. And I met Danny when he was a couple of years older than me. So I came here at 4, he would have been 6. He was already playing the drums, and the hi-hat and everything was bigger than him. He was kind of drumming up, and he went on to be the drummer at of many bands, I think, but he was a drummer, and he's the one who actually invited me to say, hey, listen, Zelks is going to probably step down or away. Do you want to be the singer? And I said, okay, yeah, no problem. But it was 2 years, but it was the most enjoyable, 2 years in terms of, like, get this, I was working for Nicola Babic at the time, yeah? Stilcon. Before it was Stilcon. There was me, Nicola, 2 other riggers and a boilermaker and a labourer. That was Stilcon.
It's like the village people.
Back then I was earning like, $500 for a Saturday, including a Saturday. It's a decent.
Huge back then.
America like this.
You go to a Zaba or a wedding on a Saturday and do the Dom disco on a Sunday. You walk home with $500. It was like crazy.
As a cleaner, it's huge. Yeah.
Usually you drop 500.
Yeah, but that was a good 2 years. And I think Zelks came back after I left. There's a bit of me and Danny didn't quite see eye to eye on a couple of things.
Particularly the sponsoring visa that he.
That's because you're so off his head. He was seeing that direction.
Well, look, we were doing an album at the time. That album, that was I did the arrangement of all those songs.
Was the project Mizo? Is that what it's called? Mizo?
No, it was all of the Croatian songs that were done in a medley.
The white tape.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was a white. Yeah, the white tape. It had project something on it. Project MICA, Mica.
That was a single, I think. A single with.
Was that the black single?
Yeah. That was one you won.
Yeah.
It had a song called Miriana on it. Miriana. I don't know.
So were you as good as Moj Dilbere by Vis Croatia, the rock version of
that was awesome.
It's on YouTube. You can find all this stuff.
You know what? Speaking of Moj Dilbere, I remember Magla. They did a version of Bosna Moja and Moj Dilbere.
Oh,
how cool was that? So if you ever get your hands on that one, they've got those CDs. And so the music sort of Moj Dilbere in the background, but with Bosna Moja saying, I think it was the best thing they ever did.
Speaking of Magla, where is it? Check it. You guys keep talking. I will find the article.
Robbie, you were a Tigre before.
I was.
I was
a tiger, then under some way, Ogris or Nocte.
There's a photo of me in back attack with Cardinal Vinko Puljic at Clifton Hill. I'm in a tracksuit, like a sirotinja, meeting a cardinal. Could have one day been the Pope.
Could have.
Where's that picture? I'll find it.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one you showed earlier on.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Was that it there? No, sorry.
That's Natasha Despoja.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Incidentally, her father was the ambassador, of the Croatian embassy back in the late 70s in Canberra.
Do you know her father won that competition that earned him, like, I think, some incredible amount of money at the time, and it was like a sale of the century type thing, and Do you know what the question was that he answered? Mind you, he's in New Australia.
Yeah.
Who were the 6 Scottish martyrs deported to Australia? He answered that question to win the equivalent of probably $200,000 or $300,000.
I didn't even know there were 6 Scottish
I think
martyrs.
I was-
That could be the question for the subscription. Who were the 6 Scottish martyrs that were deported to Australia?
But speaking of her father, so back for the younger audience out there, back in the late 70s, there was a building that was set up as a Croatian embassy in Canberra, in protest or as a demonstration of our, nation, and that we deserve to be independent. So we set up like a quasi embassy, I suppose, or it wasn't even a quasi. It was there as an embassy that was to deal with all of our needs and our fight for independence at the time. And Natasha Stott Despoyer's father, I can't remember his first name.
Mario
Despoyer. There you go. He was put forward as the first ambassador, Australian or Croatian ambassador to Australia at the time, and I think he was chosen because he was pretty much impartial to all of the other political factions at the time, and so he was.
The great thing about him too is he kept very, very good records in terms of all the people. Like I managed to get my father's signature and my sister's signature. Who went up to sign for because you had to go up and sign for the embassy in support of it. So if any of you were, parents or anybody were up there, he'll have that signature.
There you go.
Yeah.
And actually, that sign, the Croatian embassy sign, still at O'Connor Dom.
I think it's at O'Connor.
O'Connor Dom in Canberra. Yeah.
So there's one we just found. This is from 15th of December 1995. A Star is Born. So this is a famous Southeast girl. We came to this multinational and multicultural Australian homeland from different parts of the world, etc., etc. Natasha, is it Pender? She wrote for the VS.
Oh, that's Penjed. She was my year 10 Croatian school teacher.
She was also a translator. She did some stuff for my
that's
or
right.
whatever it was.
Yes, that's right.
Natasha spoke with Marijana Topalovic, who is known to many Croats in Melbourne. If not in person, at least they recognise Marijana's voice. Her mature voice makes you think she's an adult. Marijana, 13 at the time. Wow. She went on to go to Australian Idol and made like the semis or whatever it was. Yeah, the final 6, 8. I
don't know how far she got, but she went on. She was a singer at
Mugler as well.
Yes, she was. No, she was Mugler for a few years.
So 13. This is an article from 1995. There you go.
That's it. I don't know if you can sort of see that.
In Anorcia,
which way?
There you go. A Star is Born just under there. She's in Anorcia, possibly at Zvonimir. Would have been back in the day.
Zvonimir,
Sign it. How's that? But we've got here, Tony Chubbard has said they would have a copy of them in the Mitchell Library in Sydney, like they do with Spremnost and ABSW, Australian British Soccer
We
Weekly.
do have a legal obligation to send copies as a publication to what they call a national depository, where they keep copies of all papers for legal reasons. Actually, we've had a lot of people over the years that have had to find articles based for legal reasons. I won't go into any detail, but there's been quite a few where ongoing court cases in between spouses and stuff like that, where they needed to prove where they were, or along those lines.
I was at the embassy in Canberra, man. I wasn't with that lady, I swear.
But, no, we've had a few. We've also had people who have called up, grandsons, grandchildren. Their father did an article back in 1980, whatever, wanting to know what they wrote about and things like that. So it's very important to document all that.
Yeah, that's very similar, along similar lines as what yours and Deeksy were talking about.
Yeah.
He's trying to set up a museum, at least in Zagreb, of Croatian diaspora soccer clubs.
Yeah.
Not sure if Zagreb would accommodate other, but even here, what does that immigration museum do? What do they keep?
Here or
here?
There?
The one that they got here down, it used to be down on Flinders Street there. Was it with the immigration museum? Sort of.
They keep pictures of boats.
I've never been in there. The kids have been there for school, but I was like,
I don't know. I went through there once and. Yeah,
it
was very limited information.
I was invited there once for a function, which I didn't end up going to. But
the Chinese have some sort of museum there, just off Chinatown, in one of those laneways.
Yeah.
Chinese history museum, whatever, Australian Chinese settlement or whatever.
Mm.
But it'd be a big. If we just set it up ourselves, that'd be a massive financial.
And I know that actually in Croatia, they're starting to gather information, even on the diaspora, and trying to find official information like. The oldest newspapers and clubs and things like that. And then was that conference that was on during that Linux, we went to the Linux Zava last week, whatever. And then during that whole weekend, they came in and there was representatives from Croatia who came on, and then they found out who was Here's a question for you. Actually, I'm going to put this forward as a
Yeah,
question
you're right.
to win one of the. You'll know the
here we
answer.
go.
I'll tell you now. Who have they recorded as the first female? Or have to say, how is this worded? The first female. Actually, I'll get back to you. I'll find the exact.
But we
way
have
that
had
was
somebody
worded.
say, someone has given us the 6 Scottish martyrs. 1 sec, I'll come back to your one, George. 6 Scottish martyrs were Moyo, Hassel, Callum, Angus, Finley. I think we've got a winner. Or Micho, here we go. George Hrvojevic was the first single by me, Danny and Dennis,
That's
Angelka and Biche Bolje.
That's it.
There you go. But yeah, the Scottish martyrs. And what do they say, martyrs? What do you mean? Sent to Australia? What
I don't think that's what they were called.
Yeah.
There's some
It's Mark Sabljak, magistrate.
Geez, he doesn't look like me at all, does he? So it can't be.
Nah,
Dean.
he looks more like a Sabljak.
What is it?
So the first female leadership role for any soccer club in Australia, Croatian or otherwise.
What do you mean by that?
First female leadership role
As president?
as a professional at a professional soccer club in Australia, Croat. And this is recorded. This is an official recording from the Croatian government. They discussed this 2 weeks ago.
Wouldn't be Stella, would it?
You just fucked that one up, didn't you?
I was there, man. Is my name recorded? Because I was there when she was there.
There you go.
Next question.
All right, next question. I'll
Because
think of
technically
another
professional,
one.
professional, I guess that's, yeah, because
Well,
nothing else.
what do you name all of the members of Slutty's son?
Oh, we did that last
Did
week.
we?
we
No,
did
no,
that.
you did
We did all of them.
all of them.
Oh my god.
Did you?
There's like
Wait a
probably
minute.
like 40 members.
You reckon?
No, how many you reckon?
I don't think there's more
But
than
the-
15 and 20.
Jeez, just in my time, there's been 10, I reckon. Oh, far.
Anyway,
out.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
something
okay,
to do,
well,
yeah.
maybe. Maybe.
All right, so we buggered up the Stella question.
Yeah.
All right, that one's. But Tomislav Puhala says, you know how many times my old man called me up on a Friday saying, Tomislave, di si? Ja mu odgovorim, on veli, ajde mi kupi vjesnik kad se vraćaš doma. Yeah, that was all the time too. You need a news paper shop, my man's called. Not a news agent, paper shop. Kupi vjesnik.
Yeah.
Kupi vjesnik. I go, all right.
One thing that's fun.
You get a drum. On a
Yeah.
plavi drum that my dad used to wear. And I'd sell it to me.
One thing that's funny, and I'll never get tired of, is the older seasoned folk that call you at 2 a.m. after a few.
Oh, yeah.
My mobile's not listed, so it goes to the main number. But there's been some very, very colourful ones, in terms of, there's one famous one, and the boys from Buckley Street will know this because I can't play it. It's just, I'll play it offline to you, but it's become quite iconic. But
It's like we've got a certain mate of mine who, when Hayduk lose,
yeah.
he rings reception. He rings split at 3 a.m, whatever it is our time, and just abuses everybody. He goes, put me on, I want to speak to your manager. He just absolutely hammers it. What else we got? Speaking of Croaz history, is there any update on the Croatian AFL Hall of Fame? Now, I believe there are talks taking place in the background. So Dave Davutovic, who's been working on it for a while, Marko Butorac, and a few others, I believe, will start getting that ball rolling, and we hope to make it, or that it'll be a massive, massive event.
You guys did run something for people to ring in and call to see who was a former AFL player.
Yeah, if there's anybody else that might be out there.
Yeah.
And there you go. The first professional Croatian Stella has a winner is Smolik. There you go.
There you go. You gotta get the script.
There you go. Thank you.
Subscription.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
say prescription. That's what we probably require. But
Probably definitely need a prescription.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Right, then we're going to go. So, what was it that led you to going into the whole digital thing? Like, I know you said, okay, was it? But where did the whole idea spring from to actually even go that way?
Within, I think, a month of starting at the Viewership in 2011, I started the Facebook page.
Yep.
Because we didn't have any online presence, and Facebook was still okay. It was a thing, but it wasn't really.
It wasn't
at the level
Yep.
that it is now. So, I think within a short space of 6 months, we got something like 20,000. I think we're up to 25,000 followers now. But you think, what are you going to do with that? you can't. It doesn't sell anything. So the idea behind the digital is to eventually try to monetize it through different types of ad spends, and it's all about eyeballs, really. It's SEO. Ratings, Google rating, rankings, and all that sort of thing. It's a different world altogether. And if you don't have that trusted URL or website, you're not going to get anywhere with it. So we're frantically trying to build that in terms of our rankings so that we can get up there. We need to get into the hundreds of thousands of visitors to the website every month, and we're slowly getting there. But it's taking a bit longer than what we initially thought. And then you can start to monetize.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys get 200,000 subscribers here,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you monetize your page. It's not a bad.
We can make $5 each.
A bit more than that on 200.
Okay.
Before digital, before digital we had Polaroid photos, and here's a photo when we showed Spolge with his mullet, with his kiss. Look at that for a hairstyle, George. But
That
look
is
at
wonderful.
A
Look
better
at that.
perm than the lovely lady in that photo.
Wow.
To a trainer, to a beautiful.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
On Facebook. I stalked and I found. But then there's also a video of you when you were the singer of Slutky Son.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
there is, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this is you as the lead singer of Slutky Son back in 1985. There you go. That's
That's an incredible tone.
very much like Spolge.
Yeah. Actually, I think even better. I think
Those hairdos back then, eh? Wow.
Stara Škola. God bless Darko Balaban.
Yeah.
We've got Adam Lucic asking now for anyone that did. Smiley question, what did you watch Canberra Croatian? What was your reaction yesterday? I was very impressed. Adam, I was quite impressed with how they came down to Melbourne and played at Preston's ground, which is very difficult to do.
Yep.
I think. And
Yeah.
I'll just tell you what, man, they could imagine they get through to the next round. Man. Just a massive achievement. George looked like the lead singer of Pseudo Echo. Brian Cat. So did you sing Night? What was it called? Hot Nights.
Yeah.
Hot Nights.
When we got back now from the Lennox Ava on the same flight, it was Pseudo Echo was on the same flight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Brian Cannon.
Yeah, he was there. He was about this tall. He had a cowboy hat on.
Was Pierre with him?
I don't know who was with him, but
He was a keyboard. He was a bloke that played that
with
keyboard.
the Keita.
Yeah.
The Keita.
Yeah, Drago Schaefer still has it.
Does he still have
He
it?
still
Because
has
I
it.
remember him having. Because again, there's that video from the Dawn.
It is.
This guy, 1987, where he's got that Keita.
Man, I
That's-
remember
he's
that
got one.
thing. They always open with
George looked like the lead singer. And you know that they did some work for L'Oreal.
Yeah.
I used to use L'Oreal mousse
Yeah.
to get my hair looking as nice as it did. And once at the price line in Bandura, they had those just to stack out those baskets they have, like when they used to give away those senior citizens newspapers at the fish and chip shop. You get the
Yeah.
basket. This was a basket of just a single page brochure for L'Oreal mousse with Pseudo Echo on the picture. I stole the whole bundle.
There you go.
I stole them all. Yeah, because I want to look like Brian Cannon back in
There
the day. I
were.
wanted to.
I wanted to talk to
I
him.
think
But
this used to
but the-
start their night off with Mirisa Srce by Zlatko Pijak, but the rock version.
no way.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, I tried to talk to him at the airport, but he just was not
wanna know?
listening.
You just
Sorry.
wanted to take him. You just wanted to take him to a funky town.
Yeah, I wanted to take him to Funky Town, but
Oh, God.
What other songs did they have? Funky Town.
there was I say, you say, you're not listening.
Yeah, that was the two biggest ones.
I don't remember that one.
And there was a third one. There was another one. What was the other one? Oh, it
Hot
escaped.
Nights.
Did he actually sing that?
He did. Brian
He did
Cannon
sing
sang
it.
that. Yes.
There you go.
Actually, him
Sings
and,
different. He didn't put that. You know.
Brian Mannix. Here we go. Check it. I saw Brian Mannix on a train once. I thought it was a homeless guy. Brian Mannix was co-writer and singer of the Hot Nights song. Brian Mannix.
there you go.
The boy Mannix. That's his name.
Brian Mannix sang it.
That's
He
his
was
name.
from
Brian Mannix.
Uncanny X-Men.
yeah.
Did he sing Hot Nights?
No, he wasn't.
I thought it was
Isn't his name Brian Mannix, the guy from Pseudo Echo?
He
No,
was-
Brian
yeah,
Cannon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a video.
Brian Cannon.
Shows how much I know. I don't know.
Brian Mannix is the Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
like a little rat with the mullet. I saw him on a train once. I swear to God, I was going to give him money to buy something to eat. Yeah.
Well, anyway, he was on that flight.
Brian Canham.
There's one thing. There's a really good initiative that you started with the Viewership. I was going to ask you about, which is that business directory.
Yep.
Putting that on digitally and that. So is that open to anybody? How do you get your name, your business name on it? How does that work?
There's a link on the website.
Yep.
For anybody who wants to add it on there, we'll just add it in there. It's fine. There's no charge. So we just want to make sure that people are making Croatian businesses their first option when they look for any type of, tradesman or shop or retail or anything like that. I mean, it's so important, that we do that and support our own first before we go looking outside of, outside of those circles. I mean, there was, as I've seen a few comments, there was a business directory that was run by Pokojni Luburic, was it? I think from the guy that used to run National Mutual. It's his brother, his son's the Robert, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the account.
I think it was him that was running it at one stage, yeah.
Someone's saying they thought it was David Campbell. It's saying the Hot Nights. David Campbell's that Jimmy Barnes' legitimate son.
There's none.
David Campbell. Well, he runs a Today Show in the morning, whatever that.
That guy, yeah.
The shit, yeah, that guy. That shit Today Show, the cheap one after.
The Levicher.
Yeah. He does Carols by Candlelight. That's his highlight.
Oh, that's right.
No,
I thought Dave Campbell was
Sachianachi. Hot Nights.
What was it one? That little Italian fellow that was on
Joe Dolce.
Australian Idol.
No. Anthony Calea.
Yeah, is that his husband?
No, that's the other guy from Home and Away or whatever it was.
Oh, what's his name?
Oh, Nicky Easter Campbell. Yeah, but see Nicky Campbell. So maybe they're one of the martyrs, descendants of the Scottish martyrs. Brian Canham.
The six. We got the Croatian six. They got the Scottish six. There you go.
Hot Nights.
Here we go. We're gonna look it up. We're gonna find out. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of things coming through. Brian Canham. Is that the guy? He's got a goatee now. What does he look like?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Is that what he looks like now?
A bit.
That's not what he used to look like.
No, he didn't look anything like that. But I think that's him.
Brian Canham, Sido Echo.
Yeah, that's him.
He's
had a lot of week. I think he spent a bit of time in Turkey. He's got the new zoobs.
Maybe he went to see Michael Pino. Got his feet done.
Come on, fuck you. Tim Campbell. Okay, which one's that's the
Tim Campbell's the husband of
okay.
Anthony Calea.
All right.
I remember when my Pokojni Ujats heard about Anthony Calea.
Yeah.
Pokojni Ujats Ivica. He goes, he's loved him on the Australian Idol.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah.
He's dead to me. True story. Now, what else? Who else we got here now singing it? If you want to know about Anthony Calea, you can find his songs. Anthony Correa. All right, yeah, there's no question. Anthony Correa, Ali. Yes, Tim Campbell. Thank you, Dave Likota. But I'm certain Brian Canham from Pseudo Echo sang Hot Nights.
I thought, I don't know. You can't find that information anywhere. Who organised that? What could his Zoran had something to do with that? Hot Nights? I'm sure he had something. Didn't he write that?
I know Brian and Zoran Pokojni were very close friends, but I'm not sure exactly who.
I'm sure he was.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exclusive here tonight on PodroomTV.
What's that?
Tony Grgic has admitted that he's wrong.
No!
A world exclusive clip. We're going to make this into a viral clip for Instagram. We're going to cut this. You can see the chat. Tony Grgic, 6737. I'm wrong. Now we can. That's it.
I'm just
wrong about what though?
I'm just actually glad to see he's still alive because he's been MIA for.
That's right. He hasn't posted in a couple of weeks, man. But there you go. So it wasn't Brian Mannix. I'm certain it's Brian Canham. But if anyone can confirm that, some people are saying David Campbell. Some people are saying Engelbert Humperdinck. Ima tu svakakvi imena.
Yeah. So I'm saying it was Vice Vukov.
Vice Vukov. Well, Ivo Patiera. Who remembers? This is one. It was Melbourne, Croatia, pitch 2. There was a stage. Rus is old. Again, I love that rollout stage. I rolled it out.
Yeah.
It was Ivo Patiera. It was the nephew of Vice Vukov. Is that correct? He was Vice Vukov's nephew.
No, actually.
Somehow. And Johnny Marchand was also there.
Yeah,
and
Johnny Marchand had a great
Ivo
voice.
Patiera was on stage singing. And a man who maybe had a couple of drinks too many went into the social club, took down a picture frame of a certain wartime leader, ran out onto the pitch and put it up on the stage. Ivo Patiera jumped from this stage into a waiting Mercedes and they drove him off.
No.
And Johnny Marchand came back on the stage and kept singing and endeared himself to the thousands that were there on that day. This is 87, 88.
There you go.
whatever it was.
Wow.
That's I remember Koda Uchel was a block of brown Mercedes waiting there. They straight back, I don't know where they took him to the consulate, and they go, everyone's going, pa to ti je netjak od Vice Vukova. Wow, how can he be the nephew of Vice Vukova? I don't think Vice Vukov also didn't, probably wouldn't have sang under that slicker many times, maybe sometimes when he was in the diaspora and stuff. But yeah, that was, I remember as a kid.
Oh,
I don't remember who the bloke was, but he'd had a couple and he goes, you know what's, fuck them, yeah, just don't slick. And this bloke literally jumped off the stage like I did at the Dynamo presentation night when I was singing that Hey Geronimo song.
Oh, I reckon your knees are still shaking after that. that hurt me watching.
What is the criteria for the business directory? Croatian owned, employees, Croatian, or just?
That's a good question, actually.
look,
Like,
there's
if
no set criteria, I guess, but it is a Croatian website, so go figure it out. Like, you know, hey.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose if there's Croats that are benefiting from it,
Yeah.
you know,
Look,
they're keeping them employed, I suppose, why
Yeah,
not?
absolutely. Yeah. Look, there's no criteria as such, but it is a Croatian business directory. So, you know, the name, I think, says it.
So it does say it all.
But we're not going to say, you know, if John Smith has a bakery, wants to put his name up there, I don't know, and he's in St Albans, hey, you know.
Nice, on it. Crystal Records, stay on there.
Crystal Records.
Travel.
Metro Travel.
You're ripping out some old names there. Crystal Records. I haven't heard that.
Crystal Records. Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's where I had to go collect that Lucky San record from. I'm pretty sure when I won it on 3ZZZ, Prva Emisija, 1989. I think when.
I've still got a few vinyls of that.
Do you reckon they kept archive recordings, or do they keep radio stations so much as such?
I don't know.
I'd love to
I would-
listen back to that first ever pilot episode of 3ZZZ Hrvatski radio program with Stipe Svirčić on weather. Sutra će biti 30 degrees. I love it. We used to laugh. We listened to just say, dobro za moje zidare. Gold. Love that bloke.
Best bricklayer ever, yeah?
Bulldust. Yuri Andrija says, Bulldust. Grga never admits he's wrong. E.g. dismissed rumours Ange would be sacked at Forest. 1 week later, Ange sacked at Forest. Denied saying it. That's twice. He's been called out twice.
Wow.
They're coming out of the woodwork for you now.
Wow.
Grgiću, they're all coming out. The Hot Nights is available to you. Hang on, where is it? On YouTube. There is a link. But type in Hot Nights, you'll be able to find it. They may have the credits of who sang and who wrote that particular song. Darko Balaban say Rakia for Georgie.
Oh,
You
oh
can-
yes,
No,
absolutely.
I'm off that. Yeah,
Oh,
we've also.
Yeah, I was in.
Ja
It's
isto
on the
neću.
polovicu.
Polovici.
Yeah, okay.
Ja isto neću. ali
so
I
neću.
can't afford the
Mario
Uber trip.
Cavar has got
Can't
a
afford the
photo.
Uber
I
trip
can't.
from here.
I'll put it up on next week's show, but it's a photo of just Paul Easter for me when Frank Riezzo detoured the split team to the embassy. So that's a you guys can see it. I'll put it up for next week's show.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that's
That's
it. Yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
actual-
cream brick building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
So
The
that's that
split
building
team.
there. I don't know if that building still exists.
I don't.
It's
No, I
probably
don't
now
think so.
So those
45
signs,
units.
those signs where you see Croatian Embassy,
Yeah,
and that they're at the Connor Dome.
there you go. I'll put that up next week, but you can see all the flares. It's an old one. That is an old one. Let's see if I can see any photo. Here's Nick Jugovic is in that photo. My goodness. There is some quality pleats and big collared shirts in that photo, which we'll stick up next week. We'll put on
Actually,
our socials.
we did an article. I think one of Susanna's articles got a lot of photography from Mladi Hrvati archives. I think it was yesterday, or the day before it went up. And it's just got people in Noshnia that, sitting at the back, the old...
The layered.
The layered, yeah.
There's some crazy ones there. You can see
Yeah.
Stan Panic in those
Yeah,
ones.
yeah,
The
yeah,
Roderick
yeah,
Brothers. You can
yeah.
see.
There was a great article actually this week that Susanna Fantov wrote about Mladi Hrvati, and in particular
I think it's that one.
about Alex and Gizela,
Oh,
who had come over, and I thought he touched on a really interesting topic, and I wanted to discuss
That's
it
it,
with
because
you.
they're in the photos.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about it because what he talked about was they've come from Bachka there and all that, and which is a really forgotten and neglected part of the world where many Croats have lived before. I mean, to talk about how significant it is at the turn of the previous century, so around 1900 to 1910, the largest Croatian city in the world was Subotica, because it had 100,000 people, of which 50% were Croats. Where at that point, Zagreb had 60,000, but you had Germans, Hungarians, and whatever.
Yeah,
so there was
yeah.
actually more Croat, and then Split had 15,000, and so on and so forth. So Subotica was actually had the highest population, the largest Croatian city in the world. These days it goes on forgotten. Now it's part of Vojvodina, and those Bunjevci Croats that live over there are just forgotten all the time. There's one
terrorized most of the time.
well,
They've been
that's the whole
terrorised in
thing I
their own
wanted to
homes.
bring up. I mean, they come out like you've got such history there with Subotica, Sombor, Novi Sad, we say Petrovaradin, Ban Jelačić.
Stari Bošnjak, if everyone remembers, Stari Bošnjak used to sell the flags out front of Clifton Hill, whose sons went on to become ambassadors of Croatia, Tomislav, and now you got Marijan living in Zagreb, who was in the committee at the nights with me as well, but they were from Petrovaradin, I believe.
There you go.
There's a lot of people from Clifton Hill that came from.
Just on a pokojni Artur Nalis, as far as he was concerned, that was the border of Croatia that included Novi Sad. That was
well, that was it. That was all that part of yeah. So, and it was, and until say 1945, it was.
That was our geography lesson.
But Petrovaradin was Ban Josip Jelačić was there. I mean, that's probably most favourite son. But what I wanted to say was that part of the world where Bunjevci were now, they actually put pressure on Bunjevci Croats to actually not even call themselves Croats, but to call themselves Bunjevci, like they're a people
separate
upon themselves.
Yeah.
You know, whilst at the same time, the Croatian government is spending all this money on reparations for the local Vlach populations and stuff that have been living there for the last few centuries and stuff. And that's all fine, you know, diplomacy and everything's good, you know, you have to move on with the world, that's fine. And they've created dozens of cultural centers for them. But there's one cultural center that was set up in Subotica, which the Croatian government had to pay for. So the Serbian government's actually not paying anything. They actually, like you said, they're putting these locals under pressure that they're actually too afraid to do it. There was a great...
and they are so passionate and proud in terms of their heritage in Bačka.
Imagine living there. So you've got to be.
There's Zvonko Bogdan, that's
yes,
singer. He's
100%.
a Hrvat. He's
Yeah, he is.
100% Hrvat.
He is, yes.
Ali, he sings Nekavica. They've almost,
But
over
that's-
these years, they've made him... Yeah, but they sing with... They speak Ikavica.
That's correct.
Basically. They're, you know.
Because they imported that because most of them came from Herzegovina and Western Herzegovina and parts of Dalmatia when they actually moved over there.
But you cannot get a more Crow name than Zvonko Bogdan.
He's a Croat. And he's
Zvonko
coming.
Bogdan.
Definitely a Croat. And he's actually come out and sang Domoljubne pjesme. Like he sort of, you know, had to disguise them in some ways and stuff. But definitely. And he's a perfect example of these people who still contributed to our cultural heritage.
Very much
but
so,
again, our government and our people, and even we here, just completely forget about them. I remember I can't remember which one of the folklore groups actually went over there to dance. I think they went to Subotica and dance, and they were actually getting like negative feedback. What are you going to Serbia for? What are you doing this? Like, you're going to hang on. You're going there to support the local population. That's a bit under the gun, so to speak. You know.
Yeah, lako je biti Hrvat u Hrvatskoj.
Lako je biti 100%.
I know a lot of Bunjevci and people from that region now in Zadar who did house swaps. Yeah, so a lot of
I'm a bit busy, mate.
a lot of Srbi from that, whether they were Vojna Lica or whatever they were. So not the local Vlach, like you said, those couple 100 year Vlasi that moved into the outskirts. The ones that came into the cities were mostly officers, army officers. They've got homes. They got homes given to them, whatever. They did swaps with people in Vojvodina, whatever. The Crows were getting terrorized over there, and these ones felt that like weren't particularly welcome. So there was a lot of swapping of people. So there's a lot of people from Srijem, Bačka, Banat, and that are living now in Zadar and probably other cities where they did just direct swaps, which I think, look, in the end, it was a shift of population, but it was for the best, I think, for them to survive. Because, like, in where was it? Novi Sad, the Radical Party was in fucking power there for years. They terrorised these people fucking day and night. They couldn't leave their houses without being yelled at and lost their jobs and who knows what.
100%. I thought, like, it highlight that these poor people that are still living there. They're still part of these, you know, that we can't forget that. And this is in light now of what's sort of been happening in Croatia over the past weekend, where they've decided to have... what do they call it? Serbian
Kulturni noć.
Kulturni noć or whatever, Dani or whatever they've got. Fine, all right. The war's been over for 30 years. There's got to be some sort of diplomacy between the two countries. But do you do it during the month of November? Do you do it during the these anniversaries of Vukovar and that, it maybe be a little bit more sensitive to the local population.
Yeah, we can never condone violence. That's the official line.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I read some of the comments when that went up, and the first comment was, oni su nama pokazali njihovu kulturu 91. u Vukovaru.
Yeah,
that was their
and that's-
Serbian cultural centre in Ovčara.
You know,
Yeah, there's a comment.
and when you think those wounds have not healed,
No.
do you stop them from doing? You can't stop them from doing it, but I guess.
You can't stop them. And I think if you're actually open-minded,
And
you've
a
got to say...
similar thing
there's
happened recently in Benkovac too.
That's
Yes.
That's
You
right.
know, it was only
There's some film festival
Yeah,
or some
yeah,
bullshit.
There was a
whatever.
documentary
and
there.
then you
that
had
was,
you had Severina then does a concert waving white flags, you know, as a counter to the protest. Like, hey,
It's targeted,
yeah.
it's orchestrated. It's not just, this
That's
isn't
right.
business stuff. This
Yeah.
is well orchestrated, well organized.
Yeah.
Provocateurs.
Yeah, provocateurs.
That's
That's
what
right.
and all funded by our government.
Mind you, she was speaking on that stage. Not many people were actually going, yeah. It was a couple of claps in the background and a few cheers and all that. So not a lot of people were actually supporting what she was saying from stage.
Yeah, Tomica Puhalo liked your use of the word vlah. It's true.
Well, that's what it was.
It's
Like, I
true.
mean,
Like
look, my family are from Banovina and we had high population there. And my parents said, well, they were never Srbi, they were Vlasi.
They happen to be
it.
Orthodox, and the Serbian
That's all
Orthodox
it
Church
was.
came in and just said, anyone that's a Pravoslavac
Yeah.
is now a Serbian.
Yeah.
That's how it worked.
And he just
Nikola Tesla, that's not a Serbian. He's not a Croat.
No.
Right? He's not a Hrvat.
No.
Right? He's not a Serbian either.
but he's a Vlad.
Just because his dad was some Pope
Yeah.
doesn't mean he's a genetic. He's not a genetic Serbian. His dad was a
No.
Pope. That's about it. Nothing else.
No, he had, as
There's
much
a lot
Vezo
of-
as
but there
Serbia.
are-
These
there-
mamas,
there are
these
a lot of-
Jakulas, these.
But there are a lot of Croatian Pravoslavs in
That's
Croatia.
right.
I mean, there's a Pravoslav,
Hrvatska, which is yet to be
right
recognised.
in, I think it's in the middle of Zagreb, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
That's all. No,
Very strong proponents in Zadar of the Hrvatska pravoslavna crkva. Matanović was an ex-political prisoner,
Yeah.
Pravaš, who tried to get it off the ground. I remember, joined up as members back when I was in probably 97, 98. Again, because there was a lot of debate over who owned the property of the Serbian Orthodox Church in Croatia. Now that they all fled and whatever else happened. So, and they brought in a priest. What was he, Bulgarin?
Not sure.
As the whatever they call their Archbishop, Episcopal,
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that.
Metropol.
Or something like that, which
Metropolitan,
not
or
recognised, but then again, the
Metropolitan,
Serbs don't
whatever.
recognise the Massos, they don't recognise it's an Ogorci, they don't recognise anybody.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a
Look, we're our
fantastic
own
initiative.
worst enemy too with the support Popovac gets over there too. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
The
that's
amount he
government
gets,
funded.
you know,
That's the
I
whole
mean,
thing, you know.
It should be difficult for him to actually, you know, be able to access
Oh,
funds.
they've got a church. They've got a church on Svijetin Trg. So
Yeah,
That's what I
Yeah,
said too.
that's right.
Oh, well,
So in the middle of-
I saw Popovac there in 2019. Walking
Yes,
down the
was the
street.
Avio.
Oh, this is all guy, bolje, pamet u glavu, yeah.
No, what do you do?
You'd get torched if you'd said something.
No, I saw him not far from there as well in
Yeah.
2019. This is actually funny.
Yeah, just
And he's
walking.
walked past and I looked at him, we locked eyes,
Yeah, that's
and,
fine,
and
that's
I don't know what
feels
my
safe.
eyes must have said to him
That's
because he
his
put his
safe
head
zone.
down.
Yeah, no, but most of those churches that you see in some of these cities, they never had a church. There was never an Orthodox church in Zadar.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's Sveti Ilija, it was an old Croatian church.
Yeah.
They just converted, they changed the cross on the top, and they go to Srpsko.
Yeah.
You can see it's Gothic. It's just only dough eaten with the bare hands.
So I'm impressed with you, Rob. You've written notes.
No, it was just little things that I
I
thought.
might
And there was
accuse-
this
You
Mardi
might
Gras
be-
thing though.
you might be accused of being a journalist.
No, it was just one thing because I saw that article come up and
Yeah.
I thought it's actually really important. And like when Mladi Hrvati started there, and then you'd go, oh, the people saying, oh, the Kacenoviches, oh, they're from Serbia or whatever. Like it was like you
Yeah.
got this small-mindedness. You have to say like what they've done. They've brought this culture that they
Yeah.
wanted to hold on to so badly.
Yeah.
These for centuries, these Bunyiks have
And
been
they've
living
been-
there,
they've-
and they're
you
trying to
know.
promote it. What a fantastic initiative, and it's something that needs to continue. You know, and
She's been a giant and a husband of the Croatian community. Like, you know, it's worthy of commendation at the highest levels, you know.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that's what I was saying, but that's where this imbalance is happening at the moment, and it just happened this weekend where I go, you see, this is now painting a real picture. Where the government's saying, and the newspapers all coming out saying, no one's supporting Babli Boys, no one's supporting Torcida, no one's supporting this or whatever. And now you can argue with the way they do things or whether it's, you know, but what they're arguing is there something wrong with their argument? You know, like because you're battling something saying, hang on, you're living in our country. That's fine. You're here. But what about the Bunjevci? What about Croats that are living in certain parts of Bosnia and Herzegovina as well?
100%.
And like how many Croats are fleeing Bosnia and Herzegovina? How many have left? Or actually, I should say, fled Sarajevo because of the sort of treatment they were getting in Sarajevo. You know, but these are people that we need to sort of support and remember them. And I was going to say on Instagram there was a page called Hrvati Bunjevci. And he was coming up with lots of things, but funnily enough, in the last month or so, there's been nothing coming out. I wonder if that's been shut down. Again, when you're looking at the political context and climate that's going on at the moment over there, you know, I don't know. Something to keep an eye on anyway.
It's interesting to see the irony with a lot of these Serbs that have lived in Croatia now, whether they'll have to serve the Croatian military.
Yes, if they want to keep dual citizenship, mate, come and send your
It's going to
boys.
be funny.
Send your 17,
That's
18-year-old
been
boys.
a pretty hot topic of discussion too. That in terms of people living outside of Croatia.
Came up in our household. Mark was now, he'll be 16 in February. Do we send him? We send him. Yeah. There were people from our community here in Melbourne who sent kids into the UNR.
Yeah.
And put it in newspapers.
Yeah.
We'll get those ones out of the archives. That'd be fantastic if we could. We can pop that one up on the screen saying how proud we are to send our kid to služit the Jugoslovenska Narodna Armija from Australia. But yes, we have, there you go, Ivo Jelicic. Svetli Trg Church was Catholic until late 1700s, sold to Zagreb Orthodox Diocese end of 1700s, then renamed Serbian in 1850s.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what the whole thing it was. And that's that whole thing that I was talking about earlier. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, you can just tell by the names. The names. Remember Jakula, Veljko Jakula, that was the Slavonia Krajina leader.
Yeah.
The Crows captured. He went to jail for it. Jakula. These those Vlasi, man. They're Romanian, whatever they were, these Dacians, whatever, they led their flocks into the hills and ended up staying there.
That's right.
And then the Austrians and that used them as cannon fodder to defend from the Turks. They're Orthodox. He sort of became
they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Those ones like even Pascaval Soccer Club. They're the same Vlasi. They're
a Romanian.
Yeah, but and I think they're from the same place. I think they're Vlasi at the end of the day. Now there's a new sort of name.
Yeah, a Roman. That Toshe Proeski was one of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Toshe, the singer, that Toshe Proeski was a Roman, whatever the hell they are. Pascaval Pelister, they're called. And also that Georgi Hadji, that played for Romania, is one of them. He's not a Romanian, he's a Romanian, whatever it is. That's from some. You make fit that book.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I thought Pascal was Italian, but they're
as many do.
There's some, Macedonski Vlasi.
Yeah,
some sort.
100%. That's exactly what they are. That's it. Now they've got a specific name for them. But another thing there, look, I mean, you've been part of this community for the better part of, we can almost say the better part of 6 decades, really. You come in the 70s, your 70s, 80s, 90s. That's
1970.
So you've looked over 6 decades, really. Tell me, what are we doing right as a community at the moment?
There's a lot that we're doing right, and there's a lot that we could be doing a lot better. I mean, when you look at events like, Oktoberfest, Adelaide Festa, the tourney itself, which tourney is a big topic of discussion at the moment because people are concerned about its direction. There's nobody yet that's put their hand up, as far as I'm aware, that's and we've never had that. That's something we are doing. I believe that we could be doing better in terms of allocating somehow. I've always said the tourney needs to go to the federal level and be given some sort of status as a cultural event so that the money's there every year. They don't have to go cap in hand.
Yep.
So any club that hosts knows they've got 300,000-400,000 up front that's there for that purpose. Obviously, dealing with government involves more red tape and,
Yeah, but is that something that should be specified?
Who have we got in there still? Who have we still got in? Is Sheshaya still in the Senate?
No, he was long gone.
He's gone?
Yeah, he's long gone. But we've got connections.
Maria.
No, we've got the guy, the Italian guy that came to the opening.
Daniel Molino?
Yeah, Molino. Who better? He's the sports minister, isn't he?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
But these are federal things. But if you're going from state to state, there's also state government money that you can be getting.
They're going to be one-offs, I guess, because the tourney changes from state to state.
But that's something that we could even sell to each state government. Say if that became an extra sort of add-on part to the service that comes on, and they say, all right, we've got a certain committee whose job it is to source these grants and stuff from the federal and state governments and say, look, last year we were in the Gold Coast, we generated $14.8 million for the local economy because of this. This is what we want to bring to your state, and then state, and you've got bargaining power, And if you're there's people a lot smarter than me, you know, they know how to do this kind of thing, and they've got experience in it. And saying they go to South Australia and they go over to Peter Malinowskis' team and say, look, mate, we're bringing this back to you. You know that back in 2022 or whatever it was, 23, we brought in this much money. Look how much we're bringing in. It's getting bigger and bigger. We need a little bit of injection. They say, you know what? All right. He's 100 grand. He's 10 grand. Take your 10 grand.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
better off than what you were before. Whatever.
So there could be something,
the other
something
question.
happening with 20.
You know?
To answer your other question, what are we doing right? And look, I've always said this. We love our football, you know, and Knights, Dandy, Dinamo, you know, they've all got a beautiful community, but nothing is more deeply rooted than folklore. At folklore, you'll have 98% of the kids that are attending that are of Croatian heritage or background or through marriage, or the amount of people I've had ring the Viesnik and say, I want to enroll my kid in folklore. Where's the nearest one to, you know, I live in such and such. That happens so often where people who have left the community want to reconnect their children. They don't do it through soccer. They do it through culture.
Is this a recent phenomenon or?
No, it's been like that for a while, but we're doing folklore really well with the folklore festival we saw in Sydney a few weeks ago. I think there's a children ones here that happens annually. I think the last one was just in
one at St Kilda that they had.
The one here. That's going to be biennial.
Every 2 years, but that was huge. That was a,
you know,
I wouldn't say a turning point, but that was a benchmark.
Yeah, and each folklore group has its annual Zabava. I think this Zvonimir's got theirs usually in November, which is coming up. I think I saw it coming up soon, but that's one thing we are really doing really well.
Michael mentioned the same last week. Yeah, when I said to him,
I don't recall.
music is very important. When I said music is important for kids
right.
and listen to Crow music and learn the language, and he turned around and he goes, folklore. Yes, for me, the stepping stone into music was through folklore first.
Picking up a tamburica and then that led him to guitar.
Exactly.
Led him to the squeeze box.
And look, you know, with I'd dare say that over the years there's been a lot of marriages that have happened through folklore.
Oh, 100%.
You know, because you know what you're getting.
Yeah. Can dance,
you know what you're buying.
Yeah, I was jealous. of the ball. I never did folklore. For me, it was just kick a ball, Maimuna, and that's it. Yeah.
I've seen
no
you.
one.
I've seen you perform in Mladi Hrvati.
Yeah, but that's in my
you think
40s, late 40s. Yeah, but as a kid, when you'd walk, like always, I talk about it every time, walk under those back stairs at Clifton Hill. Where, you know, I sit on the quarter with my mum because she sang. Yeah. But on a Friday night, if you happen to be there and you see the boys and girls in their break, folklore, holding hands, kissing, whatever, I'm going, you know, and we used to tease them. You know, you're wearing a dress, or no. You know, and then I thought to myself, I think I'm the one, what I was saying about them, that's me, because I'm in a dressing room full of blokes.
Funny.
While he's out there, Zemsku.
A funny story, real story was my Jenna Nancy. She was from Geelong, so she danced in Lardo. And there was a period of time there where they were driving from Geelong Friday nights to teach. Before it was Zvonimir, it was I can't remember the name, but it was before Zvonimir folklore group, and they were teaching the kids every Friday. Then when we moved and got married and she moved here, she started teaching, I think it was early 2000s or thereabouts, or nisam siguran, but always a problem with boys. You don't get enough boys.
That's the thing.
And so she started teaching, and she goes, I need my sons. You know, I've got two boys. I need them. Tata, we got training on Tuesdays and folklore, can't make it. So Jenna goes, fair enough. Folklore's Mondays now. And, you know, within the space of I think 2 or 3 months, we had Shawnee Filipovic there. We had my two boys, Philip, Stipa Andrijašević. They're all dancing folklore, and it was a mateship sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. Some of those boys that were chanting PodroomTV yesterday and grilled have joined this year.
Yeah.
They're adult boys, like 17, 18, 19 years old, have come into the adult group at Clifton Hill now. To join us up, but we need the younger ones as well. So I see a lot of those younger groups, the Marley, and that's a lot of girls, maybe 1 or 2, 3 boys here or there. But it's I'll tell you what, boys, if you're at that age and you've taken an interest, there's no better way to hold a girl's hand in public without getting yelled at by her dad than do a folklore.
I should give you a round of applause
Yeah.
at the end of it. Okay, having said that, well, yeah, you said folklore.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this now for weeks, if not months. You know, folklore, soccer tournaments, it's the same things. Where are our little shortcomings, you think? Where are the places we can maybe work a little bit better, harder, smarter?
Look, football is always one of those gatherings where we tend to get a lot of the spectators there, but sometimes you kind of wonder what the direction of some of the football team we've seen. Knights that now slipped into second division. A lot of the sport support still comes, but we don't have the players there. And as much as we need to obviously make mention of the Filipoviches again in that realm with the support they give. They don't do it so that they want to attract and make sure that the Croatian identity remains alive. And I think that's what we need to focus mostly through our football clubs, our identity. I was unfortunately president of Dandy when we went through the whole NPL transition, and I was the guy that took Dandy into NPL, much against a lot of people who were naysayers and said, you're going to lose the identity. But, well, the argument there is a few weeks back, we had 9,000 people, chanting
from all over.
So that's been, quite a success. And I think that the more we dwell on that in terms of our identity at that level as well, because we should use that as a stepping stone to cover everything Croatian. I don't know how much more you can involve culture into soccer though, but let's face it, most of the teams now are running maybe 2 or 3 Crow kids at the senior level, which is, I don't know how you change that.
So you have to sort of ask the question: are we there to mould soccer players, or our own soccer players, or are we there to promote our culture?
And if you do, people don't come. Look, there was one year Dandy had 1 year when we had the likes of your Vlado Juric and Šime Klarica and guys like Dario Matka. We had like 9 or 10 starters in the first 11. Yeah. We didn't get much more crowd. There was no people saying, but it's always like, konaš ne igra, ne šta će gledat. But when you do, it doesn't change that much in terms of that. So we need to focus on that aspect of it in terms of how to bring more people back to the game as well that are how do you do it? It's a trick because you got 4 big clubs now. Back in our days growing up, there was just 2 Knights.
Yeah.
Knights, and that was it. That was that was your choice.
Yeah.
That's what sort of the pyramid was there.
Yeah.
You had the top, and then you had the next one's down, next one's down.
It's not clear anymore.
And you went through that pyramid. If you made it to the top, then after that you'd go down to the next one, but on the flip side, you started juniors here, and you work your way, and you made it into the Knights.
But you look at the glory days of NSL when there was 7, 8, 9,000 people coming to Summer Street. Like those people are still there. Believe me, because when Dinamo played against Perth Glory a few years. We got the 4,000 or 5,000 people. Where did they come? It was a Tuesday night. It was freezing.
Exactly right. Yeah.
But they came.
Yeah. Same as Knights when they played Brisbane Raw in that semi-final as well. There's 5,500 people there.
And
the people are there.
When you guys played at the final for the 2018.
The World Cup. I don't know how many thousands of people were in there, but it was
shoulder to
insane.
shoulder.
It was insane.
I think we've breached a few fiery.
Look. But I don't know. I've heard 4,000 people.
And those that came. Yeah. What about the ones that didn't come? Because they probably came down Fitzgerald Road and went, screw this, I'm going home.
Yeah.
But it's what I'm seeing is just these young. But I always say there should be more of us now than there was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? People have married, they've had kids. Now they're doubled in numbers. Yeah. On paper, double, triple, whatever you want to go. Who knows how many there really are? But it's an effort also to try and get these kids to a training or get them to a folklore or multiple Crow school lockout. One's doing folklore. Lucky she's old enough, she gets picked up by a cousin around the corner. They're in the adult group, so they go on their own on a Wednesday. 3 playing at Dinamo. 2 doing Crow school on a Saturday morning at Clifton Hill. Yeah. So it's you got to get them there.
Yeah.
And if you don't put in the effort, you don't get the results. It's because the effort's on us. Yeah, we can force these kids to go. But if we're not going to take them, then
Yeah.
there's no point. You have to sometimes wake them up. You need to push them. You need to get them there. But again, like I did make mention last week of a certain club where there was some controversy or there was some upset people about kids or teams that had not made it through the NPL pathway stage. There was a selection process and a whole lot of people were not selected. I did receive a phone call on Tuesday morning after the show and an email outlining the communication to these parents. Thank you for attending. We appreciate your time. The trial process took place. Your child didn't make it. We'd like to keep you in the community. So the club did reach out. So it was the Melbourne Knights that reached out and said it wasn't exactly the way that I may have framed it. They had a different opinion on how it was carried out. And there was a meeting that took place. I'm not too sure exactly what the outcome of that meeting was. But like I said, that was my opinion after speaking with certain people. They were a little bit disappointed that I didn't speak to people at the club first before I brought it up.
Yeah.
They said, contrary to my position, it was something else. Fair enough. We agreed to whether it's disagree. I invited anyone that wants to come on the show and speak about it. Nema problema.
100%.
But again, it's...
And you weren't alone in those opinions. Like I had my say as well. Nicky was here. He had his say as well. And our concern was, and that was one collective thing, and if there was one truth that came out of it, was that our main concern was that our kids are looked after.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. Don't give a shit. Like if you're going to import some masterful player that from some other team is going to come from Sunshine Georges or whatever they're called now, Caroline Springs, but he's going to leave as fast as he came. You know, that's the whole thing. It's just about looking after these kids that have been there now for 4 or 5 years and making sure that you don't let go of them and just say, oh, you're not good enough now. And they caught the shisha. You know what I mean?
It's a tough gig for whoever's involved. Yeah. Whichever way you look at it, if you're getting into a committee to just try and keep Crow kids there, or if you're getting into a committee to try and get results, either way, I think everybody's heart's in the right place. They're all trying to do the right thing as they see it for the particular club that they're at. That's no one disputes that in any way, shape, or form. Ali, again, at the end of the day, for all of our clubs, what's the mission? You need a mission statement. This is what we're there to do.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's in paper, in writing, or it's just an unwritten rule, and we know it amongst ourselves that this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
Wasn't there supposed to be a community club attached to every
It was back in the
NPL
day.
club when it first started to protect
North Geelong had
Cardinals.
Cavaliers. No,
Cardinals.
sorry, Cavaliers was bloody.
Dynamo had
the
Fox Street
Blues,
Blues.
Fox Street Blues. Yeah, I remember.
Who else? There was so there was a workaround. There was a workaround because again that was, but this whole the football federation here in Victoria at least doesn't help.
No, because they keep changing it all the time.
They keep changing the rules. They make it. You have to be more and more competitive to stay in these particular leagues and whatever else. And then sometimes people get a little bit spooked to say, because we need to bring in 4, 5, 10 players from another club or academy or whatever to boost the numbers to be competitive. Yeah. And I understand that too. I understand that because you don't want to disgrace the jersey you're playing in.
No.
You don't want to go out and get smacked 20-0 every week.
No, you don't.
That's fair enough. Ali, at the same time, the foundations of what's it's a conundrum.
It is. But I think you've got to sort of define. All these soccer clubs talk about culture. What does that word culture mean? Because it means different things to everyone else. Culture can mean success, can mean whatever. But I think what culture means is you're a club that takes a kid from here and takes that kid to here. You're improving their ability. So if that team's losing 20-0 at round 1, by round 25, they're losing 6-0. That's culture because you've taught these kids, you've made them grow, they've gotten better. That's for me. Culture, importing players from other teams at under 12s, 13s, 14s, that's not culture. This is now pretend Barcelona. You know what I mean?
Every club would love to have majority of Crow kids as starters, but the reality is that it's just not happening. I mean, we've got up until now we had 3 Crow clubs at NPL. The Greeks have got 4 or 5. They seem to cope a lot better than what we do in terms of although South Melbourne had a very dodgy. They were living in relegation for a lot of the. Yeah, that's right. You must have already. You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of this comes down to parents as well. So we've been pointing finger or talking about the club should do this and that. But the biggest problem, and I think probably even bigger than that, are these parents who think, I'm going to take my kid out of this club. I'm going to put my kid to this club or that club because they think their kid's going to get better because of some, for some magical reason. And at the end of the day, I don't know how true that is. Look, again, there's an argument. that can be had for that as
Oh,
well.
I've seen
But
it
I think a lot of it comes down to parents who are living their dreams to their kids. That's let's say that.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
that's another factor you throw in on top as well.
Yeah.
Where the loyalties of parents in this environment in football in Victoria, at least, is just non-existent. Now, I've seen people pay $500,000 deposits at 2 or 3 different clubs.
Yeah.
And then just go for the what they
What
think is the best
best,
option. I'm going to go to their Division 1 on there.
Yeah.
And they'll leave 3-4 grand just sitting there because they've got a better offer over here.
Yeah.
I'd pluck it for a month if I left $1,000 to someone and not get anything yet. Yep. I'd sell my own kidneys for that amount of money. And then yes, I've seen people change clubs 3 times in a season. I've seen people from academies follow them halfway across Victoria.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. We didn't grow up in soccer like that.
No,
Not
it
very much.
was a different world.
I was a fucking Nick Rewalt, one club, one man club.
But that's
Whatever.
how it was, And I think like our community was a lot more obsessed with it. It was just, you go home and you kick the ball around. There was no PlayStation back then. Mate, you were lucky if you had an Atari. If one between 20 families had an Atari or whatever.
Well, we've got here, Marty Raspudic asking me, I wonder if the Viesnik can answer the best kept Croatian secret, the whereabouts of a certain Serbian statue head from Adelaide in 1995. Did that didn't make that made the advertiser in Adelaide? Was that what that was called? Adelaide Courier Mail, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
I remember they had a big wooden box on top of this statue. It was hilarious.
No, I can't answer that, but I do remember it. But is it the
Draža?
Draža? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
that was. But just reading that article was hilarious. It took. I don't know how many hours it took to cut this thing.
Wasn't anybody I knew anyway. So
no, me neither. Question: roughly how many Oz Crow bands would there be around Australia currently? What about a biannual Battle of the Oz Crow bands in a music festival type setup? Can be moved around the country, or even
like a festival,
one
like a
weekend.
Music. I hate the Battle of the Bands thing.
Yes.
Like it's just
more like just a.
But I know, like a festival, music festival. Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
There's only really 2 in Melbourne, isn't there?
It's just us and Mortar here. I suppose in Sydney you've got Liga, Stornassat, Plamen or something, Plavi. Zarko, Zarko.
The Mandrillos now.
The Mandrillos.
I watch Mandrillos live at Cronulla.
Brisbane
RSL.
and Sydney got no.
But apparently it's not the Mandrillos, it's the Mandrillos.
Oh, Mandrillos.
Yeah.
Brisbane, there's none.
Brisbane, there's
Adelaide,
nothing.
none.
Adelaide's got just David by himself.
Yeah.
Perth, nothing. So that's it. There's not a lot. There's really not a lot.
Mate, looking through that copy of the Viesnik that I gave you, I'm looking through some bands, Adoti. What are some of the other ones? You go through the Zabava, and that tells you who's.
Velika Zabava, Braća Radić. Svira popularni glazbeni sastav Grić. Bogata tombola.
Uvijek.
Oh my god, Braća Radić. Nastupaju Hrvatske folklorne i Croatia. When was that?
Who's playing on the back page there? Who's the band there?
Zabava s večerom. Sviraju Aduti. And you got Velika Zabava.
Aduti was Zdravko Sishin, whose daughter is Magic Dirt.
The leader.
He ended up becoming the singer of Mortar, didn't he?
That's great.
Yeah.
We used to call him the fussy. Anyone remember the furniture shop, the fussy furniture fellow? There's a bloke with a brother. I reckon it was him that they used for those ads.
He's passed away, I think.
He passed away a couple of years
ago. He lived overseas. He did. Miss King Tomislav, hrvatski klub Kralj Tomislav poziva veliku tradicionalnu zabavu. Biranje ljepotice Kralj Tomislav 1983. Glazbeni, Grić again.
Grić.
Grić.
It's probably Kemal and
Grićevi from this how
probably Kemal
and
Kemal and Mirko.
Zrinjev Chani were an actually kick-ass band back in the days. Zrinjev was Kemal and a few of his guys. Yeah.
Po vašoj želji slikamo vjenčanja u studiju ili parku. Lončarić photo.
There we go. We talked about them. Was it last week?
Who doesn't have a photo from the Lončarić photo? Just
I've got to find that picture.
From around the corner of Clifton Hill Church. And speaking of Clifton Hill, this weekend, there you go. For anyone that is in and around Melbourne, most other Missa won't be taking place. You're all welcome to celebrate our patron and the first Croatian Catholic saint, Sveti Nikola Tavelić, this weekend, this Sunday. Sunday Mass is at 9 a.m. Rana Missa and 11:30 a.m., which is different to the usual 10:30. So 11:30 a.m. Mass this Sunday. There is also devotion masses on the 13th, 14th, 15th of November at 6:30 p.m. in the evening. Following the 11:30 a.m. Mass this Sunday, food, drinks, music, and performances by Mladi Hrvati in the church courtyard. The band playing will be Grupa Accord. So we've got
There you go.
Daniel
Young
and
Daniel.
Josip.
Is
Pre-book-
Josip still? Is
Josip
Josip still? I
still
know
with you?
Josip said something about. I don't.
He's retired. Pre-book seated / reserved lunch in the hall. You can pre-book, but only in the sala because there's always a bit of toing and froing and argy-bargy around who gets to sit inside and who doesn't. Pre-book, $50 per person. Contact Helen, 0457 743 874. Food and seating will also be available in the yard under the marquee. So hopefully the weather holds up. I'm not sure what the weather will be this weekend, but the PodroomTV in Clifton Hill, as always, this Sunday. So everyone from Sunshine, Geelong, Springvale, and everywhere else in Victoria, make your way down to Clifton Hill, get to Mass, and then have a feed and a bit of a sing-along
It's a great day
afterwards as well.
And most of us here in Victoria have some sort of link to Clifton Hill.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And you've got Karta Markov there saying, nice hoodie, Smolik, MH represented is the Mladi Hrvati, and the back is even better. I did help with the design of this with Marko Šušić from 369 Creations. Is it na Glagoljica?
Yeah, can you tell me what it says?
Folklorna grupa Mladi Hrvati. There's no mystery to it at all. But this is making a massive resurgence. This Pleter Križ you're seeing everywhere now. You know, I remember we had it on the Zadar jerseys at the Dandy Tourney in paying our respects to Pokojni Leo Stolica.
Yeah.
We had that Pleter, and now you're seeing it turning up on jerseys.
And actually, that was a killer hoodie that came out.
It's a cracker, absolute belter. Then you've got Canberra Croatia's also got the Pleter coming down the sleeve. The Pleter, that is the fundamental foundation symbol of our narod. Other than the Grborik and the Pleter even goes further. That's something that's unique to us. So Irish have got something similar, Ali. The Pleter is something that goes back God knows how many hundreds, thousands of years here. What's this one? Tomica Puhala. Recently I looked at how many Crow players are at each Crow club on game day. You can check under 12 and up. Only Dinamo had an average of around half or more Crows. The rest, bugger all. I won't use the... You can see it there.
Actually, there's a pretty decent podcast that's out there now with David, oh my God, from SBS Soccer. David
Bashir.
David Bashir. I think it's called The Home Ground. So
Yes.
it's him and some other dude that's like he was involved with that 111 bid. Remember when Western United came in and then there was going to be a bid in
Southeast.
Southeast.
12 or 11, SE11.
Whatever. He was part of that. So he's a bit dirty on all that. But them two, they've got a podcast and it's actually pretty good. They had Dino Strano from Avondale a week before, but they also had David Svetkovsky over this weekend. If you get a chance.
Oh, they
go
changed. Is that the one about... I've seen something come up about David Svetkovsky from Preston saying how Preston changed the landscape in Australian for Victoria.
I was talking
football,
about it. It goes for about 20 minutes, half an hour or whatever, but it's actually a really good watch. It's a decent podcast as well. Not as good as ours, but it's pretty good. But anyway, some really intelligent conversations, and we're talking about soccer clubs and bringing people together. But what he does is David Svetkovsky comes out and really intelligently and succinctly puts down what their successes were, and it's things that we've been talking about for absolute years. And I remember bringing up Preston about 6 years ago on another podcast and talking about what they were doing, and we were laughed at by a certain administrator saying that we don't know what we're talking about. But the last 6 years have sort of proven that was wrong. But actually, when he's talking about culture in clubs or what makes, like having long-term visions, and it's not just, I've got a long-term vision. What's your long-term vision? Yeah, we want to make the top four. Yeah, but how are you going to do that, or through infrastructure, through bringing people in or volunteers and things like that. And he brought up Marconi as a fantastic example. And he said Marconi's probably the biggest club in the country. Now, obviously not from the supporter-wise, but from infrastructure-wise and from their from what they can achieve because of the money that's brought in, because the Marconi club's it's like a bloody mini casino.
Yeah.
But
Palace.
the things, that's one thing they even talk about back in the nights. If you look at Melbourne Croatian Sports Centre back in the 80s, one thing that we probably did wrong back then was we built a stadium and just left that kiosk there. And that kiosk is still pretty much still the social
same
club.
as the old diner.
As opposed to, we should have built a mega social club. some killer venue that was going to host weddings, bring people in, bistros, things like that was going to generate money. And then you build a stadium.
A bit like Bulleen too. They got
I was actually going to bring up Bulleen. And the
Bulleen's
Italians
massive.
seem to do it. They've got that monstrosity, that brutalist. It's actually a
I'm not
beautiful
sure
building.
I'm not sure what the
I mean,
connection with Avondale, but the Italian
Calabria
club,
club.
yeah, behind that, it's like, are they part of that whole?
No,
No.
I don't think so. I think they just sort of gave him that backyard because
That's the old Calabria club.
Yeah.
And across the freeway used to be the old Esser and Triestina.
That's
No.
right.
The Esser City
That's
Jets or whatever
That's
they call
right.
them. They're Royals.
Yeah.
I think that's the Royals.
Yeah.
But Avondale was a provisional league club.
Yeah.
They both played against Avondale. So split.
Yeah.
They were just a backyard.
Mm.
Oh, no. And now you look at them, they're
But that's something that we were making fun of the Italians before, going, what sort of cultural, traditions have they kept here in Australia? They don't know anything other than or you get this or the ti amo or whatever that comes out, because they haven't held on to it. But one thing that they're doing a lot better than us, administratively, they are leaving us in the dust because Marconi's doing it well. Avondale's doing it well.
And some of the
Bulleen's
Abruzzo
person.
club.
Bulleen's a bloody.
They've got a couple of Abruzzo clubs, one in Epping, one in Brunswick. They've got the Calabria club. They've got they said the Fogelor Furlan club here at the back of
That's right.
Thornbury.
That's right.
I think that burnt down and that's gone.
Oh, has it? Oh, it's
Next
not
to-
there anymore.
No.
Okay, all right, there you go.
But there was a number of those clubs that survived, at least the social aspect of it survived. And like that Abruzzo club in Epping is pretty decent.
And the one
yes,
that was
yeah.
in Brunswick, or is it still in
There was another
Australia?
one, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that still
That was-
there? I
that was
don't know.
huge.
But what it is it's giving you an option because if you're generating money, then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because you want to piss away money on soccer because that's what you
Bring
do.
back stallions.
Because soccer's a
Bring back
piece
stallions,
away.
yeah. They've got the pokies.
Then you
And
can do that.
as a gambling entity, you have to put money back in the community. You're forced into doing it.
Yeah.
You have to put money back in their community. And if you've got a soccer club associated with your facility where you've got people gambling, Green Gully, Maltese, Green Gully, they have to put money back into the community. Why not put it back into your own soccer club, then give it to Kilo Footy Club or whoever else they're going
I
to
think
give it.
Deacon's much the same way too, because they got that whole facility there with pokies and everything like
Yeah.
that. So it's a
Pokies has always been a dirty word, but you know what? Like if we had pokies the last 20, 30 years,
If-
mate, it would be in a
yeah.
very different financial situation.
Yeah, if
Now,
you
I
could-
know the argument was always there. We don't want to now create gamblers and whatever. Well, what have we really? I don't think we would have been servicing our own community, to be honest. I think we would have been servicing the local gambling population of the Maltese and the Vietnamese that live in that area.
Exactly.
Look at Geelong. You got a Geelong dorm. You walk in there. How many
Yeah.
Croats are in that pokies joint?
No.
It's probably a
And they're
10.
drinking.
That's it. The rest of them all,
But here you
There's
go.
a mix
We've
of-
got one here, Chrissy Turnouts. My son has been there. They're talking about Melbourne Knights since he was 3 years old. He's happy to play community as per the offer received by the Knights. Culture is Ilya and Chrissy still help the club, and so does our family. So there you go. It goes two ways.
100%. That is
It can go
culture.
both ways.
100%.
There's offer was made. So like I said in that email, your kid didn't quite make it in the NPL. The offer is there to play community. Do you take up that offer?
That is culture.
Some did, some didn't.
100%.
Some are upset, some weren't. It all depends. Yeah. So again, there's always two sides to every story.
But that is culture. Culture is the family that's been there, forever, and keeps doing that, and keeps, sacrificing their time and doing things for the community. That's culture, 100%.
Oh, look, some controversial comments coming through again. Why do Strathmore and Dandy have two or more teams in each age group and hardly have any Crow players? Just make one. The girls a different story, much better. Everything's relative. There's a swings and roundabouts. Sometimes you get a generation of people that want to bring their kids, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Or whatever happened. And then the A-League thing didn't help as well. When you got Melbourne City, West United, Melbourne Victory,
That was the whole thing.
and
yeah.
then people see that as some kind of a pathway to their kid being a soccer.
yeah.
Those kids, they're ruthless. They cut kids fucking halfway through the season, you're gone.
Yep.
Or at the end of the season, how many kids make it through that following season? The following season after that, very, very few. And none of them make it to seniors by the end of the day, to be honest. Barely any ever make it to seniors. They'll buy some 40-year-old Greek from Japan and play him instead of some 20-year-old kid that could be the next big thing.
Worked well for Western.
Yeah, it worked really well for us.
To start, it's just what about we have to keep supporting the Melbourne Knights for next year?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marinko Markovic, one of our winners, say that with the winners of Jelena Čuric's books, so I've reached out to all three of them just to ask how we're going to have them signed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you how you want yours signed as well. And then Jelena will get those 5 copies, so 3 to our winners and 2 for one for me and you. You've got to tell her what we want signed on our books. The winners are going to get theirs hopefully
I'd like
very
mine
soon.
signed to the gorgeous Robert. It was a pleasure writing this book for you.
I think they're going to be signed to Rose and Stella to get us out of the doghouse
yeah,
from
exactly.
last week. But there you go,
The
Rose.
keeper from Canberra. Sorry,
The keeper.
sorry, boys. I forgot about you as well. Yes.
You on a curfew
go.
tonight?
A
Or?
great job. Well, apparently we've outstretched
We've
the
got a bit of
curfew
time,
by
but
about
that's
half an hour already.
That's right. It's not anything, Rose. We're not mangled. We're not.
No, no.
You can see that I'm quite.
No. We're our usual idiotic selves.
So Rose is just reiterating there. You're all welcome to celebrate the Patron Julpe at Clifton Hill.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Angelina Stock. Let's just say the reason why the head of Sava went MIA in Adelaide is because they Molotov cocktail our family car during an event at the Dom. Doesn't make it right, but that's history. There you go. The Dom, man, there's a bomb threat made at that Dom. We had no accommodation. We had nowhere to go. That was good times. Following mass, 11:30, Clifton Hill, food, drinks, etc. Music by Grupa Accord, the Mladi Hrvati will be performing. Florio Škratulja. That's a famous
Flore.
There
name
you go.
from
So was Lado. There you go.
it was Hrvatsko kulturno-umjetničko društvo Ladož, along the travel to visit many Croatian communities over the years. In addition to Subotica, we visited Banja Luka, Sarajevo, Kotor, which is in current day Crna Gora, and Gradišće in Austria. The people we met were incredible, especially those in Subotica.
Yeah. I remember that tour, Florio.
Yeah, that's exactly what. So sorry, I couldn't remember who it actually was.
talking about. Yes.
Florio, yeah, it was.
I'm not sure why the message cuts off, but there is more. The way they nurture and maintain the language, culture, and religion under the most difficult of circumstances was inspirational. I think it will be difficult for anyone to fully appreciate their persecution without visiting these places, looking into these people's eyes, and hearing their stories with their own ears.
Yeah.
Listening to the priest in Subotica, Stipan Beretic, speak and hearing the Subotički Tamburaški Orchestra perform brought me to tears. Very humbling experience. There you go.
That's exactly what I actually got goosebumps now. I listened to that whole story. That's absolutely, and you've spot on. You've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what we were alluding to at that time. And Gradišće in Austria too. I think somewhere I read that that's probably the dialect that they speak is the closest thing to Staro-Hrvatski that we've still got.
They've nurtured and maintained.
I even know I spoke to some. That's probably because they're in Austria. Because I know that some Slovaks, you know, there's a big Slovak community in Vojvodina, say certain parts of Slavonia, and that their language is quite different to the Slovaks in Slovakia, and it's still that old school sort of thing. So that's a similar kind of thing. But they've held on to that Staro-Hrvatski. Anyway.
Ivan Jelicic, Šokac is asking, what shampoo and conditioner is Sabljak using these days? Svaka čast. Look at those.
I know, it's very thick, I know.
Hey, did you go to Turkey as well with Brian Cannon? He got his teeth because he obviously didn't get his hair done.
Ivane, pazi se.
Oh, yeah. All natural.
Ako trebaš farbat, he's a pain.
Just squeeze lemon, white egg yolks.
Nah, just a bit of, I don't know, just some...
mast, Svinsky mast.
Yeah. I don't colour it, so...
No colour?
No colour. No kaki.
Ooh, look at me. If I let this grow, I'd be called Santa Claus.
Marshmallow.
Many, my brother was, I think, fully...
What about Laganini in Perth?
Well, okay, I know, you've got the three-piece there, but we're talking about, like, but we're talking like full bands, you know.
They were amazing in Adelaide.
They're great. No, they are amazing.
Butcher Bowl in Adelaide. We lost the grand final, but I'll tell you what, they soothed my tears.
They are fantastic. Beautiful harmonies, like we've mentioned before. 3-part harmonies, all three of them can sing. If you get a chance to see Laganini, absolutely fantastic.
And happy birthday to Carolyn Petzotic, who celebrated her 50th this weekend with a glam party, I think it was. George has been great to listen to. Thanks, George. That's from Rose. Was it? Yeah, she sent it twice. That's how much she loved listening to you.
Your Rose?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Rose.
She hasn't never said that about me. 17 episodes. She never said it.
She said, Smiley, can you shut up?
Tony Grigic, because Italians build a viable club first and sport follows. Yeah, that's pretty much what Spolge mentioned. That's right. But again, you need a foundation upon which you can
to build it. Yeah,
sustain these things at A-League. Don't know about the A-League. That's talking about the A-League teams. It's very good to see what we're talking about. Georgie, one last shot, glass empty. No, Georgie Moravozzi.
No, I'm driving, guys. They're responsible.
You guys do a very good job.
It's not the 80s.
Bravo, Florio from Jure Andrija. Walking through St. Tripun Cathedral in Kotor. Great experience. Crvena Hrvatska. There's a lot of people that say that, you know, we got the Thompson song. I listened to it today at work, that Boston. Not sure if you,
Yeah,
if you
beautiful
want to know
song.
where your president came from. But there's also a lot of surnames that have come out of some that modern day, whatever you want to call it, Zahumye. There was all sorts of names for it back in the day.
Yeah.
Zeta and whatever. Crna Hrvatska. There's also a lot of it. Dukla, that's the one. Pop Duklanin. Who wrote a history of bloody crows, basically. Florio, again, the dialect in Gradišće is a protected UN cultural asset. I think that's the official name from memory. Must look it up again. There you go. So it's been.
Thank you, Florio, for saying what I'm trying to say, but in a lot more intelligent way, and then much more eloquently than I was. So thank you.
There you go. But yeah, but preserving our history here in Australia as well is look, Ilya Shutala did a fantastic job with his books.
Yeah.
With his book, Croatian is an Australian. There's been other attempts.
That's really aged well, that book too, actually. You know what I mean? It was written like probably 10, 15 years ago now.
Yeah,
at least.
More than that.
Yeah.
More than that. More than 10, definitely.
At least 10, yeah.
I went to the launch. I think I was there at the launch, and he signed the book for me. And
it's been more than 15.
Yeah, I reckon so.
No,
too.
it's probably 20 years ago you would have written that.
But somehow to preserve, obviously, the Ethnics got their archives of all the old Ethnics, but there are other clubs should be doing it off their own bat, no doubt.
Yeah.
And are doing so, keeping their history and preserving what they can and keeping it in a state that can be.
Well, you look at Dynamite at the moment; they're going through their whole archives to do their 50th anniversary book, which they're in the process of doing at the moment. And the amount of history they've actually kept is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether. I mean, obviously, I'm involved with Dandy. I don't know whether our records are even that well kept in terms of who was. We always say we're going to do an honour board, but we can't actually pinpoint who was president when and what year, which is, pretty important.
No, the Knights, there was work on a Melbourne Knights book as well. Split's doing their 50th next year, so they've got a memorabilia appeal at least to start. Like I know people, like I said last week, got beach towels that were made for a Split back at some tourney. Hurstville now, 55th anniversary.
Yeah.
They seem to be going great guns on the field, and obviously this festival looked pretty sick on the weekend that they had going there, and they're doing pretty well with social media as well. I think Hurstville, they've got a lot of interviews and young people involved in doing all this social media stuff for them, and they've modernised the logo, and they've done a lot of stuff. So hopefully something comes out.
And kudos to Newcastle as well. They've actually they won like
Pegasus come in
back-to-back grand finals or something
from the Ashes.
From nowhere,
unbelievable.
Just didn't exist, and now all of a sudden a vibrant community, successful soccer club. Getting up.
Yeah. And look, I think a lot of that's got to do with, the year that Vatrini came second, won silver.
Yeah.
We had the highest amount of Crow clubs win their championships and titles ever
in that
year. It's like
it's a cycle again. So you had 98, 2018. That's what's that? 20 years between them for that.
That's right.
They might actually. I'm going to have to wait 20 years.
I think now we've maybe worked out the formula to be able to keep it consistent.
Wow.
I think so. This Saturday morning, 6:45, Croatia, Faroe Islands qualifier. Even what do we need? Not to lose by 15 goals in the next two games. Both games. And we're pretty much through. But
I think a draw, is it?
I think a draw is definitely enough.
If they get a point.
They beat who did they beat?
They smacked Czech. And got
a smash.
And this is a team that I don't ever remember winning a game.
Yeah.
They're now possibly going to finish second in our group. If they can pinch a point, I don't know if it's a point. If they can beat us, they're second in the group.
Are we home or away there?
Home. This is a home game.
Okay.
But again, we only beat them 1-0 over there, man. Again, so not an easy place to get to. That's in the sunshine. Ireland, the middle of bloody nowhere, synthetic pitch, you have to make them.
You got to play there at Rujevica too.
Are they playing Rujevica?
Yeah. Rijeka's not doing too well there. So.
Hopefully they can bring them some luck for them.
Vukovar's off the bottom of the ladder, which is good to see.
Are they off the bottom?
They're just off the bottom,
There you go.
Who's dropped it?
Osijek.
Osijek is bottom.
Osijek is bottom.
Jeez.
I don't mind. I was born in Vukovar, so.
They're having their brand new stadium, their best stadium in Croatia, and
it is, isn't it?
It's amazing. But
FC Baška was formed by Croatians in Subotica in 1901.
That's right.
And next season they want to go back to the original club emblem for their 125 years with fiery opposition from Černos. So what is the original group?
I'll show you this. Make sure I'll show you the thing. But I saw that on that page.
Is it FC Bačka?
Hrvati Bunjevci page that I was talking about. Brought it up, and I'll show you it. And they're actually the oldest Croatian club.
1901, so they're 10 years older than Hajduk.
Wow.
Older than Hašk, older than Građanski. That's the one.
FC Bachka, but it's written obviously because it's probably under some sort of
Oh,
Hungarian
well,
influence.
at that time was Austro-Hungary, but that was the original.
ASC.
So I don't know if I can send that to you. If you can put it on the
Yeah, we'll
screen
get-
or not.
Just flick it to WhatsApp. Yeah, we'll get it on there, man. We will get it on.
It's
there.
on bloody Instagram. I don't know how you.
Screenshot it.
Oh, okay.
Screenshot.
Oh, yeah.
Screenshots.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Lijepo ti to pošalji, Rođe.
Kropuj.
Oh, you know what I can do as well. I could maybe.
Okay. And then I'll
See.
send this to
What?
Messenger or what did you want to send it to?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay. Yeah.
Onda mi to riješimo.
But that's worth having a look at. So it's the oldest Croatian club. So the oldest club of football, of a football club pertaining to our nation.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I sent it to you WhatsApp now, so hopefully.
Yeah, it's come through. Hopefully, it's all the screen is normal and you can see everything going on.
And so that's in Subotica, the biggest Croatian city in the world at the time. So
Save. PodroomTV, episode 17.
So in the meantime, while he's saving that,
Hmm.
what are your hopes? What do you see Viewership in the next 10 years? You know, what is
Oh, it's hard.
the
Look.
ultimate aim? Talking about plans.
I don't know if I'll be editor in 10 years, but certainly there's a nice young crew that's coming, through in terms of the people at the Bruce Media. I mean, I'd like to eventually hand over to them, and you need some fresh blood, fresh talent. I've been there now, I guess, as I've mentioned, 14, 15 years, and I think that editors shouldn't be too long in that. You need to get some fresh ideas, some fresh blood and all that. But whilst that's all going now through this transition, I've got no option but to stay with it until at least the foreseeable future and make sure that this transition goes smoothly. And look, unless we see, that take up in terms of the online subscriptions and visits to the webpage, who knows? It's ultimately going to be a call for Mr. Filipovic and Kato in terms of whether how
Keep
much they want to
financing.
how much they want to value they see for the community and that. And so far they've been fantastic. They've been very open. They've been very willing to assist. Not just us. As you look at how many clubs in this whole competition would be around if it wasn't for their backing. It's just
Yeah, 100%.
it's unbelievable.
When you're talking about subscribers, is there a magic number that you require? And you say, look, if we could only get 100, 300, 500, whatever.
Look, with the $4, I mean, it'd be ideal in terms of what we have around Australia. If we get to 3,000 to 4,000 of those, $4 a month, that's a decent amount to pay people's wages and get a bit of advertising as well going behind that, and a bit of Google ads as well. That becomes then viable. So we're looking at 2 or 3.
And that's $4 a month. That's if you pay on a monthly, and if it's
Monthly,
yearly was
yeah.
$41.
Now, what
or
the
something, yeah?
$4 gets you is it gets you a link to the actual printed edition that's online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, if you ever actually seen it, it looks really fantastic. I mean, it's on your desktop and it's like the actual page. You just flip them.
So is it like that those files that you used to send to the printers, and that was the one that they used?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know that from the Crow Express days and
Yeah,
all that, so I
yeah.
remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
So it's the same format, same articles, everything. The pictures are everything the same. It's just it costs us nothing to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a link.
well, there you go. Like everyone, $4 a month. That's nothing. You can't even get a coffee for $4 these days. So for $4 a month, get in, subscribe, get onto Hrvatski Vjesnik. Let's, as you can see, they're doing some fantastic work. We've talked about it the last few months. Incredible. Like the coverage from the tournament was outstanding.
Yeah, we got some
I
really.
wasn't
good
even
feedback.
there, but I felt like I was there. I got so much
It was
information.
a full operation in that
Yeah.
VIP room at Gold Coast. Man.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was,
watching Brucey and the team.
And it wasn't just, I mean, the guys on the ground up there, unbelievable. Like, but behind the scenes, look, I couldn't go because I had Stabber's wedding and Carter's. So, but during that 3 or 4 day period, there was a lot of editing going on and, reading, editing, uploading, making sure that things were on time, making sure things were actually factually correct because, somebody says, no, that's not the result. They lost 4-0. You put there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that 2 or 3, 4 of us were involved on the ground here, still back in Melbourne, while we had people up there as well. And I got the same feedback. Like people, even I sent an email to the team. I said, guys, unbelievable effort. You know, like I can't remember exactly what I said, but I felt like the energy was there, and even though I'm not there, I felt that I was on the ground there.
But even the Vox Populi things
Yeah,
that were
that's
happening
one-
there, Emily
there's a
was
question.
talking about that.
Question now. Thoughts on viral Crow Tawny post about loyalty to Croatia versus Australia?
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that went viral.
Yeah.
People talking about it. It just goes to show the reach.
Yeah.
Whether that topic, is valid or not,
Yeah.
is not the point.
Yeah.
Point is that the Viewership provided a forum there for people that.
That was
Give their
interesting.
opinions,
That
yeah.
went on X. That post by some Nathan Nesnum Pito, but it was not even a Crow. He's only got 300 followers or something.
And it went off the tee.
Nearly, I think it's at 300,000 or 400,000 views.
So that one where Croatia every day of the week. Croatia.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oh, I've seen it. I didn't know. Jeez.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show. So look, if you can, please help subscribe. $4 a month, $41 a year.
Oh, ideal if you can do the,
you know what's good about it, right? Is let's say you've got parents that are a bit older and their eyesight isn't great.
Yeah.
You take your iPad or your laptop to their joint. Right?
Yeah.
You subscribe. You can make those letters as big as you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Yeah. You can cast
40
it to the-
40 font.
Yeah, and you can cast it. I'm assuming you can probably if you've got some technology, you can cast it to the TV for it.
Yeah.
And just get them to presto mama.
List day.
There's like this. And they'll learn how to do it just like, and they'll probably lick their finger and they won't move. Ali, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy, mate. Buy a subscription for someone. Christmas is coming up, mate.
Mm.
Buy a subscription for somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool.
The Bashka Gurbi is cool.
Yeah.
Hand drawn, old school. Damn straight it is, man. That's imagine that. I don't know what league Bashka playing
What was still Austria-Hungary at the
now,
time.
but
yeah,
what they're
so
playing
it was-
in now, and they turn up in the Gurb playing in the local.
Well, you can imagine what kind of reception they're going to get,
Boys
and,
like Sheshel, you
and
will be in the-
even announcing live, we want to go back to our original good. Yeah, they're getting some, and that's the whole thing. These these are people, these are real fighters. You know what I mean? Imagine that. You got to live that in that environment. I'm going to put that grip on. Now you're showing what you're worth.
No. You got
Yeah.
balls to do it in there. So what
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Rob Stalker, we need to keep our Crow community strong and keep organising events for the youngies and support each other in those events. And it's great to see the third generation singing Crow songs and going to Crow events.
Yeah.
Because the Balkans are infiltrating slowly. Australia is one of the few that still have the Crow community along with Canada and USA. And even at work, man, I'm seeing like someone today, I think it might have been Italian as well, just saying, no, Irish. It was actually Irish. He goes, you Crows here in Australia really stick together. I go, yeah, we try to. It's not easy, Ali. We try to. He's obviously Irish, and Irish settlement in Australia has been 200 and something years, but he's a local, recent arrival. He has a good name. He's come to Australia, but he's surprised how close we are. And then the two English boys that play for Strathmore Split that I work with as well. They're trying to learn the lyrics to Split Shunning for next year's 50th.
Oh, split journey.
Yeah, they're learning the lyrics so that they can sing it at the Zava so they don't feel out of place.
Yeah, Callum.
But they're loving it. Aaron and Callum, they are
okay,
loving their time at Split. They're loving the community. They come to functions. They go, we haven't really tried to hit on. I haven't tried to hit a Crow girl. Yeah, he goes, bullshit.
I've seen it in my eyes.
And like a Oktoberfest or whatever, he goes, I'm scared I'm going to get smacked in the mouth because some bloke I might have a crush on him.
He's so innocent. Oh, I haven't know.
I think that one of them at least has got a girlfriend now, so we don't have to worry.
That's right.
Boys, here we go. Paul Murray's show. Paul Murray's show on Sky even covered the viral X post with a negative outlook. So obviously he would have said this is some sort of.
Oh, really?
There you go, man. Well, I once had a song that made it to Rita Panahy's 2GB fucking radio show during COVID in Sydney. Then YouTube banned it. It had 100,000 views, man.
Oh,
This
wow.
song, and it fucking got banned. Daniel Andrews, but Paul Murray, we'll have to dig that one up because I
I'd love to
sometimes
see
flick
that,
on
actually.
Paul Murray. Look, he's a conservative, but he's obviously got a certain skew on politics, and they see this as not multiculturalism. They see this as
But a couple of the comments I read on there was like, people that have migrated from England, they will always barrack for England when the English team comes here to play the Ashes. There's no. And again with the if English the English squad was to play Australia, they're gonna
Indians when the India plays cricket. You know, they get 70,000 Indians at the MCG.
Yeah.
Most of them are born here.
Yeah.
You know, the younger ones and stuff.
Yeah,
It's,
absolutely. Yeah.
it's you know, I don't know. The what's it like in America with Crows in Canada? And now you got like a Sigurd playing for Canada, and you had Ante Razov playing for America back in the day, Christian Pulisic and that. Look, we support both. But if it did come down to playing each other, I was at the World Cup in 2006, mangled. Torchy was, I think, with the VS to get the accreditation. The journalists were right behind me. I sang both anthems.
Yeah.
I pluck like a deer. I'm singing the anthem of the country that I was born in and singing the country I never thought I'd see exist.
Yeah.
And half the players in the Aussie team are Crows, and 3 of the Crows in the Crow team are fucking Aussies.
Yeah.
You know, I go, dude, boy, you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember having this conversation with Steve Sobko 25 years ago. So when Australia lost to Iran at the MCG, that ill-fated game, and he's walked down, he's laughing because it was laughable. What happened was actually laughable, and people are there turning around going, "How could you laugh at that? You know, you're this." And these people, the first time they've gone to a game in their lives, he's going, "What are you talking about, mate? I'm here supporting this game week in, week out. All right, I might be Crow, I might, support Croatia, and I might even prefer. But you know what? Even as a second, my support for Australia is so much more than what it is for
That's
you.
right.
You know what I mean? So you can belittle whatever it is. You know, I'm always going to choose. And what solidified it for me was when we played in 2006, that game when we drew Australia, Croatia. And I thought, oh, yeah, no worries. Whoever wins, I'm going to be happy because you know so many of these players. Mate, did it hurt at the end that Croatia didn't go through. I was going, look, when I'm watching people in rugby tops jumping up and down and going, oh,
the abuse I copped on the train, the monorail, whatever the hell it was in Stuttgart after. Like, I lost my group of people I was with and I ended up on this monorail just doing fucking loops of Stuttgart. Pit that bug, I ended up at some Mate Bulic concert. I think. Drinking, I remember ordered a mineral water at the bar. Ordered a mineral water at the bar and Ante Stippig standing next to me. And then I ended up eating pizza on the fucking grass outside, like David Hasselhoff.
With the burger?
Hammered. But the abuse I copped because I was wearing all Crow shit on me and then fucking was speaking English with other Aussies. Yeah. And these newborn fucking Australian supporters who they've been to 17 Ashes and never watched Australia play a qualifier. You're men yebe mater.
Yeah.
Or yebe ti sve. Yeah. And then that makes you almost turn off the national team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did. And it did, mate. It turned me off the national team.
Interesting that game. We were actually in Crow 2006, and my kids were on they made the front page of the Večernji list, all holding their heads like, you know, because we lost the game, and it's like, and the headline was, "Gdje vodi Hrvatski nogomet?" Like, it's like all negative, like, you know.
Well, when I came in, like,
Ante Babic says he launched his phone into the Neretva after all my Aussie mates started messaging me in 06. The ones that have never spoken about soccer in their life. You're many some. I couldn't believe what I was seeing in that train. Yeah, Mullis and Poppy, but I go, listen, man. I go, don't you teach me about soccer, mate. We ate Govna for 40 years here for soccer, and now you're going to come and educate me.
But that's the whole thing, you know. Yeah. Watch 2 games of soccer in their lives. They're wearing a rugby top, wearing a bloody Wallabies top or whatever it is to a soccer. And I'm going, mate.
He's yelling,
this really
go,
means
Booty,
a lot to you.
Go, Booty, run down that flank.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Hunt? I don't even know.
Should we on your boot for the No, but it's deeper. Then what this probably Paul Murray and any of these other morons have been saying is bigger. Like you said, man.
I'd love to see it actually.
This one, really. So that was, what was that? 2006, yeah. Fucking 10 years, 11 years earlier. A lawyer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
20 years before they didn't even have a country.
That's right.
You're going to support you. A dog can be born in a stable. It doesn't make it a horse.
That's right.
You know, we still respect this country. We're the most patriotic. One day, Aussies, these whatever you want to call them, will realise that even Sushi Mango. See, Sushi Mango cops shit on social media.
About what?
They put up a photo of some bubba in an apron or whatever, or holding holding food. I can't remember what the slicker was. A picture of a hardworking migrant who came to this country and put in the hard yards and they've copped it. That's not right. What are you saying? That new migrants aren't hardworking and they're not law-abiding?
Pretty
and all
much.
I think that's what
Copped
it
it.
Yeah.
And that's how we would say. Yeah, but they'll realise one day that, let's say, Italiani Grizzi, that 50s, 60s, 70s intake of migrants will be the most patriotic Australians this country's ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
And we'll save this country from itself because it's gone to shit.
Mm.
It has
Yeah,
gone
that-
to absolute shit.
You know that Tom Cruise movie, Born on the 4th of July,
Yeah.
when he becomes loses his legs.
Covid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, Born on the 4th of July, talking about being a patriotic American and serving in the war and still, and then going through all of those nasty things that happened to him. Croatian migrant, or the son of Croatian migrants, I think it was.
Yeah.
So there you go. I
Nathan
think that
Porter.
paints a picture of what kind of
Nathan
migrants.
Porter is a member of the One Nation Party. This ex-post was a targeted political provocation. Look, again, we've got people who don't like us on the right and left. Yeah. So it all depends on which side of the fence you are, because
Oh, did you find it?
this is Mars Jupiter has said Nathan
Oh,
Porter
okay.
is a member of the One Nation Party. This ex-post that he made obviously go viral,
Yep.
or as a result of his post, is a targeted political provocation. Could well be, because you've got two sets of extremes in Australia. Maybe neither of them particularly like us.
No, well,
Yeah.
that's
We're
the
sort
whole
of
thing.
stuck in the middle.
Yeah,
We're just law-abiding, hard-working, fucking average Joes.
it's how terrible.
And we're given an opportunity to come here to be able to fucking live freely, work hard,
Yeah.
and enjoy our own culture, which we weren't allowed to do back over there. Yeah, he's such a nekomen srat. Be it Pauline Hanson or fucking Sarah Hanson young. Yeah, but my mater, you tebi. You fucking shit. Go on. Aussie Joe's 3 yellow cards that game had it all. The winners that game was definitely the Croatian community worldwide. You know what the thing that killed me in 2006? Oh, Joe Šimunić, AIS, tax-funded fucking bullshit. How many? Branko Milošević played for Australia. Yeah. Drago Dijanković played for Australia.
Yeah.
Aussie Joe Watson, captained Australia, couldn't understand his fucking word in the press conference. We fucking. Yeah. How many Aussies? Milan Ivanovic played for fucking Australia.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
correct.
were all poached or whatever. They were all fucking. Bruno Fornaroli at 76 years old was given Australian citizenship to be able to play in some
Oh,
qualifiers.
what about one of
against
the
fucking-
greatest ever? Billy Wojciech played for Australia.
Exactly right. Rale Rasic coached Australia. Oh, that's all good when we poach from somewhere else, but when somebody else does it the opposite way,
It's the end of the world. Yeah.
I remember getting bagged. Who's this? Tommy Gavran. I remember getting bagged by Aussies in Stuttgart. He was there. We were literally, I reckon, 20 metres apart, me and Gavran in Stuttgart, and we couldn't find each other. No, we just couldn't. It was a
Chaos.
madness. Got bagged by Aussies in Stuttgart for wearing a half Crow, half Aussies specially made soccer top for the Crow versus Australia game. And like Spolge said, most were bandwagon supporters. Fallible. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, that's the thing, that you can love one and the other. And it does nothing. We're not here. We never forced our culture on anyone. We never forced our ideas on anybody. We're just proud people with a proud history and
Very much so. Yeah.
Very
Very
Jarko played for Australia. There you go. Who did the whole list of the whole 74 team? Attila Bonju.
Attila Bonju. Yeah, there you go.
What a true blue boy from Griffiths.
Yeah,
There he was.
Yeah.
And just shepherding. Yeah, man, so yeah, I didn't realise it's gone viral. That went like outside of what I watched. I didn't think that had gone mainstream.
I didn't know. Like I heard that it got viral, but I didn't know they were talking about it.
It's a bit surprising because that Nathan Porter guy is not even verified as the blue check. Usually, when you have a blue check, you get more views, but he's not even that. So it must have been
Somebody
I don't
picked
know.
it up, and that's what happened with that song. It got picked up by, I think it might have been Andrew Bogut shared it first, and when he shared it, Rita Panahi watched his thing and she took it.
Yeah.
They played it on radio first, and then they played it on that Outsiders, I think it's called, on Sky News on a Sunday morning, heavily edited, and then YouTube banned it.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, same with this.
Which song was that? Small?
Body on that car.
Yeah, the boy in there.
Yeah, the least he says, the better. You can tell you after the show.
It was a good one. It was a belter. It was a cracker. Ali,
Actually, you know, talk about like negatives and stuff that the community. That's, I think it's our food. We don't have enough representation of our wonderful gastronomy
It's
out there. We got no,
restaurants,
we got no restaurants out there. We don't have anything, and then even what we do select is very limited. It's always the same thing. It's always,
Well, for
Get 'em
many
up
years we
and-
had obviously Ragusa and Dalmatino, and when Eno left, literally over, they actually invited me after Eno did the handover. They invited me over, I think, to try and sweeten me to say, hey, come and have dinner and see what it's all like. And I did, and I couldn't write. It literally went bad overnight. It was, and I don't think it's still there anymore. The Dalmatino.
no, I don't know what's there.
That was
But
new for us.
But it was like overnight. Literally, he left. They changed hands. I don't know whether they changed the cooks, whatever. But we went there. I went there with my wife. We had Vechera there. It was like,
Oh, that's right.
That
Then
was
they
like-
try to turn into a fusion.
there's
thing,
none.
yes.
But it just like
Even if they didn't, it was fusion. with
Yeah, I know.
something.
They fused it wrong. Blew themselves up.
Eno moved to Croatia.
Yes.
Went to an Anthony Robbins seminar over a weekend and came back and packed up and went.
Is Anthony Robbins? He's the tall one.
He's
Croatian.
He's Crow too.
Hrvat, yeah.
He's Crow. That's
Yeah.
Sweet.
Tommy Governor.
Sweet.
There you go.
Prvo
This
sam nam
is-
uzeli
this one's
neki
close.
pat.
Close to my heart. Tommy
Ako se ne
Governor.
varam.
My response to those Aussies, where were you when I was watching the Socceroos play Torpedo in Moscow at Olympic Park in front of 3,000 people? Yeah, what
That's what we're talking
we
about.
went to all those games.
That's what we're talking about.
Victoria versus whoever the hell, Vasco da Gama or some
Yeah.
shit. Oh, we went to every game.
Yeah.
And that wasn't.
When Luka Brukunic and the crew were getting abused by Swedes when
Yeah.
Australia was playing
Yeah.
Sweden at
No.
Olympic Park.
Mate, I remember watching all those games. Whoever came to Australia, whether it was something Italian, didn't have to be a Juventus.
Yeah.
It was like Torpedo Moscow. Who even remembers that? I was at that game.
When did
That's
Village,
also-
when did Village come out?
Village
Oh,
was
that was
early
the
days.
70s.
That was really
70s.
early days.
That was
A
my
lot,
favorite
lot,
stories
lot,
about
lot,
that
a lot
game.
of crows went to.
Yeah.
watch
There was a
that
mix. It
game.
was a three-way almost.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
you guys, Serbia and Crows, and it was
Yeah, it was,
Alicia got-
yeah, I know. It was,
got touched
pretty
up. I think
hectic.
that
That reminds me when Goran Ivanišević came here playing. It was just during the war, it just started, and everyone was there at the tennis center. It was one of those outside courts, court 1, 2, or something like that. And in one corner was us Crows, and another corner Yugoslavs, and another corner was Serbs.
yeah.
And everyone's cheering him on. I remember during this game. And then at the end of the game, everyone's cheering him. And as he walks out, he just gives a wave to the Croats. And you just see the Yugs and the Serbs just fold up their flags. Okay.
Yeah, Malmo 1 year. That's right. I went to that game. I watched Dinamo Zagreb play Victoria at Olympic Park. I think Shukar, I think was 88.
That was
Bishka played
88.
that game.
I was 88.
I met
Boban
Goran-
came, a young Boban. He scored a wonderful free kick, I remember.
Yeah.
I met Goran Ivanišević in 1988. It was I was staying at the Hyatt for our wedding anniversary on the night, and we went downstairs, and Goran was there, and Prpić,
Oh, yeah. Those
Yes.
Robocop-
Živojinović,
Yes, yeah, Bobo.
few of those guys, and Prpić was very. I could sense
Standoffish, yeah.
No, but I could sense he was okay, and he says, "Pazi ovo, on će biti dobar." Like he's pointing at
Goran. Oh, was he? Okay.
yeah. I tried to invite him to the dorm that night, but
As Prpić took off his fucking mental.
Yeah, oh my God,
Yeah, that's
right. That's right.
I mean, it was like a polio as a kid or some shit.
and there's some other player there, some Bruno Zvonimir, like blonde hair, like looked like a surf.
Bruno Persson. What was it? Sasha Persson. What was his name? That tennis player as well. But yeah, but we went to all these games. We watched everything.
That's right. Who was that commentator that used to be in the 80s?
Mike Hill.
Mike Hill. That's right. He was
Dipping and
commentating
swerving.
that. That was the one. And and there was a player called Skaro.
Yes.
And he was
Haris was it Haris Skar?
Harish Skaro, and he was calling him Skaroo. And I remember the free kick. Skaroo and Boban over the ball. In fact, it will be Boban. Curling that one. I still remember that. Yeah,
No,
there we
it's
go, Mike
Josip
Hill.
Weber from the Crow team.
Oh my God!
Austrian
How many teams how many countries did he play?
But he had the worst. He had the worst. I had some bad haircuts. That bloke. I reckon my parents go, it's just got to be better than that one because that was fucking terrible. That one.
Actually, he came out to Australia. I think he was Idulitz's cool at the wedding.
Oh, was he?
I think so. Was he?
Josip Weber.
I'm pretty sure he was the cool.
Jesus. Oh,
I'll
mate.
have to confirm that one. I'm
Yeah,
sure
but
there's a
those games,
Dudulitz
there
out
was-
there that's watching. Was he
Was Josip
was he-
Weber?
was he- was he-
And
was
did
he
he-
good?
and
Was he
did he
very
have
cool?
the same haircut?
was he Joey's cool? I'm pretty sure he was.
Who knows? All right, Spoljak, 10:15.
Oh, sorry,
What do you
and
reckon?
the curfew was 9:15. So
Curfew,
we've
well,
got
I
an
had the alarm
hour
on.
over.
I'll put the alarm on for 9:15 just to sort of give us a bit of a prompt and a gauge as to where
I didn't
we
hear
were.
it go off.
Neither did I.
I
put it on
You put it
9:15.
for
Going off last week. I put it
Yeah,
on for
by
9:15.
accident. By accident, he did, yeah.
chats. Oh, we've got photos. We've got photos here. What have we got here?
Oh, this hot night stuff.
Melbourne Knights theme song from the late 1990s, sung by David Campbell, written by Brian Canham and Zoran Romic.
There you go.
There you go.
So sung by David Campbell, but I don't think that it can't possibly be that David Campbell, Jimmy Barnes in 1990s. You'd be a.
No, he could have been just a young.
You
fella.
reckon? Well,
How old is he now? I don't know.
Well, the CD has got the lyrics in there and that, but I was certain it was Brian Canham. But Brian Canham and Pokoni Zoran.
Yeah, that's it. I knew he was. I knew he wrote it. I knew he co-wrote
There you
it.
go. So
That picture of the VS.
that's the iconic picture from Paul Grishnic of Tudjman. I had it, and I just didn't upload it to the actual page, but that is.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
looks like he's wearing an Aussie cricket jumper there, the old
Yeah.
Sheffield Shield, white V-neck, Pleteno. But I had the pleasure. I spoke at the Rialto function that night on behalf of the CSA. I remember Marta Krajanac rang me on the day before. We need somebody from the youth. I asked him a year before, do you need someone? And he goes, no, not the day before he rings me, he goes, you've got to do a speech. Lucky, like in everything else, I was prepared.
Croatian or?
In Croatian, I
Yeah.
read
It was
a
a big.
poem
That was a big night, actually, wasn't it? It was like a. It was
from the tennis centre.
Yeah,
to,
the Rialto. Yeah.
yeah.
That was when I think Page was running the show up there.
That's right. The Victoria Club, is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think it
Something
was
like
Victoria Club. Yeah.
that? Yeah, that was an experience. I had a bit of a Josip Weber haircut that night
Did
as
you?
well. I had the L'Oreal Pseudo Echo mousse and a bit of the Weber duck's ass we used to call it. Remember when you used to comb your hair and it would cross over here?
Yes.
Oh,
that was-
the duck's ass. It was
You
called.
were real cool.
Got this way. Our Partak here's got the duck's ass haircut. Ali, in Sydney, hang on one more. Tomica Puhalo. I was at that Ivan Ishevich match. My cousin John Arbanas made that open. He gave us tickets. We photocopied them for all our friends 2 weeks. Yes, that was the old days when you could photocopy tickets and use them again. Petar Finka. In Sydney, there's a very good Croatian-themed restaurant called St. Blaise in Matraville. Chef is from Dubrovnik.
That's
St.
in
Blaise,
Sveti
Sveti Vlaho.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I only know that because I wanted to call one of the kids Blaze, but no, I was.
You got it with a Z.
Yeah.
Blaze.
But certainly we are missing that that restaurant scene. I mean, we've had a lot of people who remember that Rosti in Flinders Lane lasted about 12 months.
Yes, we went
Yes,
there.
I
It was
remember
so
Rosti.
good.
Rosti
It
was
was
very-
so really
Yes,
good.
that's
yeah.
what that's right downstairs. It was
Water
actually
and
pretty good.
grass.
I loved
The
it.
water and grass.
Water and grass. Yeah,
Next to
another
the-
one. Like.
Yeah.
Next to the Metro.
Was that Josip Vrapčina?
Yeah, it was.
JZ
I think he had a part in it. And
that was Ivica Radobuljac was the chef.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was the chef downstairs.
we went there. We
Yeah.
went there after the Thompson concert, straight up the stairs from
Yeah.
Thompson up the.
with
yeah.
my brother-in-law and my niece's
Yeah.
christening up there.
Yeah.
I do remember Rosti.
That was a
Water and
really-
grass.
yeah, that was a-
that was decent.
But I think
Yeah,
I did.
Dubrovnik Kiss.
Dubrovnik Kiss, I
On
remember
Burke
that.
Road.
I
I
do
didn't
remember
know that,
Dubrovnik
yeah.
Kiss. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on Burke Road. I
I'm
do.
not
I actually know the
Were they-
owner.
Yeah. We ended the night with a Tanakawa. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that was
But of
perfect.
course, we've got that institution of libels, which is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
who's gonna
What about
You
the
know.
Ivanhoe Tavern
Yes, been to
The
the
steak
Tavern.
joint as well?
Yep.
The very
Is
top
it still-
across
I have
the
heard
road.
of that.
It's still going?
I'm
haven't
not
heard
sure
of
if it's the
it.
same owners or not, but it's across the road from the Ivanhoe Town Hall.
I used to serve chabab and that. I remember.
Yeah, steak and that sort of stuff. Now I thought he was more. They had pictures of Mustard, and I remember there was Crow city sort of theme photos and paintings or whatever on the wall. But I think they're still going. That place still exists. I'm not sure if it's the same owners or not. And other than that,
Yeah, but the one thing that I liked about Dalmatino and Sam Ragusa and that was it wasn't the same old thing. It wasn't just bloody chabab and
yeah.
pita and I don't know whatever. You
But
know,
I
it was
always-
other thing.
But I always
You
had
know-
the Tini Rijot.
oh,
Without-
That's one of my favorite things in the world. And I like
Whatever else I had, that
That
had
had
to
to
be yeah.
I remember speaking of Pete Puratic, who organised the butcher
Yeah.
competition. We were at Ante Klaric's wedding in Zadar, in Sukošan, actually, was the reception. And I remember that Crni Rijot came out, and him and I were sitting there. Everyone else is going, what the fuck is, I'm not eating that shit. It looks like fucking slop. It's black. It's rice.
Yeah.
Looks like someone spilt ink.
Yeah.
Kilometrica. Remember this? And me and Pura, mate, trpe, whatever they didn't want to eat, we fucking ate it all. The only thing that came out with, keep your only thing, mate, give us a Crni Rijot. That entree.
But whoever
we ended up-
tries it is like, wow.
Rose loves it now.
Yeah.
As well.
I had leftover Crni Rijot after our 7-hour epic
Oh.
episode. Next morning, took it out of the fridge, didn't even warm it up. Just had that. You know what? It was magnificent.
Spicy.
It was magnificent. I love it.
Crni Rijot, get onto it. If anyone's making it anywhere,
Oh,
certainly it is a must try. Or if you're
All of
in
these
Crow-
things, you know, like these things are full. But chicken paprika gets me through winters, mate. I don't know, you know, or you know, goulashes or your chobansi, you know what I mean? Like these things, you know, there's a world of delicious delicacies that we don't even, you know.
We just did a story on Andrea Pisanac. Was it Pisanac? She's released a number of books. A well-renowned author from UK moved back to Crow and did a series of books, full of that sort of stuff, Rob, to remind me just, you know, that heartwarming, that soul food for the soul. And she's got then she's got all of the pastries in there as well, which is bad news.
Yeah.
No, but look her up. She's unbelievable books. Yeah, and just a Crow author.
All these things, Struckli, you know, they're different.
Mlinci.
Oh, turkey, Mlinci, oh my God.
Went to a
mate.
christening on Saturday and there was uštipki.
Uštipki, oh my
you know.
God. Oh my God.
You know.
Yeah. Fried bread.
It's,
Fucking what else are you going to like?
And Anthony Zovak's grandma, mate.
Yeah, it's like Bravo Barker. Oh, that's we
That
tend to
stuff's
sort of
addictive. We just go for the same things
Pigeonhole
all the time.
ourselves
Yeah,
into
all
the-
the time. Like,
How do we
it's
get
sort of
onto
the
food,
much
mate?
of our
No.
bit.
don't get me wrong. They do wonderful dishes, but it's just I've had shabab up to here. I reckon if I never have another cheva, I'll
Here we
be
go.
right.
I believe Joe Goodabutz is opening a restaurant in Coburg soon.
Oh,
Oh, all the power to you, man.
At the old play for Croatian back in the day, them Bulleens at the
I
Goodabutz's.
don't know. There's a lot of
There was six
a lot of
six kids.
Would there be gripsy? Would that be
Yeah.
right?
I think there was
So-
is that
so-
the ones, Dave, that if you're still listening, I think there was one of 6 or 7. There was a big family as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like his.
Play bull. Yeah, you're right. Play bulleen. And there's
Chorba. There you go.
Yeah, all these things. Even gra. Mate, that's God's food. That is
Yeah.
that is
They had
God's
that
food.
at Tavalic last year at the. They set it. Yeah, Susanna and they set it up and just people go, "Man, fatoja, seljačko, to je."
Oh my
Mate,
God, that's the best thing.
Some people don't eat it. Some
No.
people that maybe their parents have passed on or they never passed down the recipe or whatever, and that Sparta give us a portion of gra to remind me of my grandparents or whatever it is. Yeah.
with a bit of kiseli kupus on top.
I remember when I was still working at Sky here, and I was working like subbing, I suppose, for Croatia Airlines. So I'd go over to Zagreb, and the last time I went there was 2019 when they had the 30th anniversary of Croatia Airlines. And I was talking to management there, and I said, "You know what Croatia needs? Okay, you need to do. I'm sick and tired. You go down the river, and it's pizza grill, or it's grill pizza, or it's like it's the same shit over and over again. I go, people want different. Do some neka pučka kuhinja. I go, where you put grahi kupasice, or you do this, or you do some,
Exactly.
čorbe or čobanci or whatever.
Girice.
You know,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Girice.
Girice,
Yeah.
sardines.
Far corner, you get this paper cone, like a fucking waffle cone, just an empty paper,
Like popcorn.
and a handful of girice and a chasha crnog vina. I'll tell you what, you feel $1 million.
100%. And fresh bread.
It's white bait. Rose sees it. She goes, "You eat the eyes and the head." And
Oh
the
my
head,
God, it's the
but
best thing in the
Oh,
world.
it's like chips. Yeah.
Girice for me is one of my favorite things in the world.
Dave
as well.
Liquota, the Gripsi are 12 or 13 kids.
That's the
They're the ones that I remember.
That's the. But what I said, and then I was saying this to the Croatian Airlines, and they go, no, ljudi to ne vole, da nije to za nas. Ne, turisti to ne vole. Možda je za nas, ali ne za njih. I go, what are you talking? You're just you're disregarding the tourists want something authentic. You give I go like especially in winter, if you go to Zagreb or something, you give them a warm bowl of gra with a krajinska or something or some sort of kobasa with some. Mate, they're gonna say, "What is this?"
You
It's gonna
follow
change the
two
world.
guys on, I think it's Gastro Tražilica or something.
Yeah, Gus was
Have you seen
I
their
watched them a
YouTube
lot.
spots
Yeah.
when they go and rate restaurants, and they are brutal.
Mate.
They are brutal. They
They
went to,
fish paprikaš, when they go into Slavonia, it's a baranja, and they go on these like a shutdown that's like just baked or over fire or whatever, or they've got like fish pap. I go, mate, I want to go Slovenia. Next time I'm going to Slovenia just to eat that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? Just
but they did these couple of restaurants in Zadar, and it was like really, really bad. Like, and they let people know.
Yeah.
They said, "This ovo je naša hrana sa Jadrana, ma nemojte nas sramotiti s ovim."
yeah, that's right.
They're like,
That's right.
you
That's
know,
right.
yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
But look, I reckon you can't go wrong as long as the restaurant's kod nekoga. Kod Stipe,
Wait.
kod Mate,
That's
kod
right.
whatever. If you go kod nekoga
Well, if
and you get the
if you
gotova
follow-
hrana, it's going to be sick.
If you follow
know?
these guys on Gastro, they actually do that sort of
Yeah, they
stuff.
do. And no, I watch them a lot.
Yeah, off the
I
back
watch them a
track.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you got to do because you got, like you said, the main streets, all the commercial shit. Zagrebachki, Odrezak, whatever.
Get away from it either,
Vienna
mate.
Schnitzel,
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Don't buy that here fucking Coles and stick it in the microwave. Give us the shit that's local there.
That's right.
The shellfish and
Proper
shit that we
stuff.
can't eat, we can't find here. Yeah, that's authentic. It's indigenous.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Gash. You know, things like seljačka hrana. What is Italian food other than seljačka hrana? What is pasta with a sauce?
Yeah.
That is peasant food.
That's right.
Peasant food's the best food. But we nekako, I don't know, we just
Putting some gershel in the ground.
Gershel. But I was going to bring up the gershel. That's the kasha anyway. But that's the thing.
Germa into the donut dough.
Yeah. But that was a thing. Grasa kasha. That was a
Nothing is better than gra. Nothing.
But you know what I think,
George.
But, there you go. But what I was saying is, we've got to celebrate these things. We're somehow embarrassed by our peasant history. That's what we are. Doesn't matter. That's Italians. What if they compare it to French gastronomy? French are there with their little,
Tweezer food.
tweezers and this and that. Italians are piling it on, but that's why I relate to it. But you know what? You've got simple, good ingredients, and that's what you produce, and that's what we're good at. That's something like
be glad at the end of the day, man.
Oh my God! Look at that. And that's the things that we need to celebrate and push on. But the other thing is as well, we need to be able to let go of certain traditions and change things. Like you can have a chicken shevap.
Yeah.
Why can't you have a chicken? No, they're more a bit beef, they're more a bit, or no, it doesn't, mate.
I don't even
You
know
can
what it
change-
is. Like I
What
said,
I'm
I
saying.
never, we never ate that.
I want to say you can
What's
change
that?
things. you know?
Shawarma. I didn't eat shawarma until Melbourne Knights went to Summer Street.
Really?
Just Rajničin.
No,
My man worked,
from Slovakia. So
my man worked in Mesa. My mum's a Slavonka as well, but my man worked in Mesa his whole life, and if it was processed, don't eat it.
No.
If it went through some sort of mincer or fucking
That's one of them. Yeah.
pita boga uši and that into it, no. Ali Rajniče, you knew it was just
That's
chopped
it, yeah.
fucking meso in a
It's just a good
Roll.
pork neck
Yeah.
and whatever, and
That's
then it's
it,
like a
meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me meat.
Mm.
So yeah, I find it hard to process. Like my body, I'm just not used to. I still eat it. Ali, there you go. My sister says had some of the most amazing seafood in Zadar and Split on my recent trip. Crni rižot, octopus, hobotnica salad.
Oh, fuck.
No.
There's
Brudet.
That's another
yeah,
one.
You
Yeah.
know, brudet.
Oh,
Brudet, or
Seafood
nešto na
on the
buzaru,
Croatian
you got
coast
your
doesn't get
prawns or
better.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And some people
Škampi na
like
buzaru, whatever.
again, my žena and sisters and that, they're not fish eaters. Yeah. We ate my teta had a fish shop in Northland in Meadow Heights and in fucking Taylor's Lake, so we had fish coming out of everywhere.
Yeah.
So even though we're not really coastal, we're still fish
Yeah.
aficionados, edge. They see bones, they see eyes, they see tails, and that they go.
They
"What
freak
the
out."
fuck are they?" Yeah, but then you just put a whole pig on a spit, it's got the fucking eyes and the ramp and the ears and that. Oh, I thought
No worries, yeah.
America.
Mate, don't worry.
But I saw the
Mate,
Hrvatski lovci.
I'll eat the snap.
I don't know if
eyes, I'll eat
anyone's
everything,
followed the
mate.
Hrvatski lovci.
Yeah,
up in Mina
we're doing an article in I
over
think
this
next few
weekend.
days.
The
Yeah,
amount of slaughter that took place to feed these people up there. Pigs, they had, I think, 2 pigs going at once. And plus some vrat and there were 2-3 Rajans going. Looked amazing.
She makes me hungry every day.
Oh.
She's saying spit stuffs on there, and I keep saying these pork bellies on going.
My Aussie neighbours in Ballarat love our grah. So he's from SK. Kalja Chorbe. They always tell me,
Yeah, there you go, kid.
Kid,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. That's right.
don't make barbecue. Whereas me, I'm very prone to lamb chop on a barbecue. And a
Yeah.
thin lamb chop. The old school, and just bare hands and just leave that coarse.
yeah.
On one side, other side, Bartsy.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I missed in Crow was lamb chops because they cut their lamb. They cut it different angle.
Well, we went to a butcher in Crow when I was there
cut
recently,
fucking
and you don't get a choice of the carcasses there. It's just which bit do you want.
Yeah.
And
And then they cut it, they cotletti and those carbonadle and shit.
Yeah.
I want fucking. Even now, lamb chops Australia, they're cutting them too fat. They're too thick, and it's not a lamb chop.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
steak. You ever stop?
It's got to be grey in the middle.
They say it won't work. Yet in 2000, Spolge and I saw a whole Czech family on holiday in Makarska eating grah in their car. Doing straight, they cook it. They fucking heat it up on the side in Belgrade. I was driving out of Belgrade towards Vrana, and they were either Czechs or Bosanci, whatever they were. They had a fucking gas bottle, and they were heating grah on the fucking side of the road. True story. Deca.
Well, they'd come on in their bags. They just put like cans of pasteta and whatever they brought.
Yeah,
You know,
tons
the
with
of
best thing
water.
about grass, it can stay for days, and you can
the
freeze it.
the more it stays even better. Like
you know,
goulash,
4
yeah,
days
what's it
without
called?
any problem. But then pepperoni, the hot rooted
Oh.
pepperoni, and then a bit of krug, but tear off krug.
No,
Not the sliced shit.
demenage.
Fuck, we're going on a Macca's run after this, boys. So I'm fucking starving.
But you know what? But another thing that I just can't stand, You know when you go to Zava, whatever, and they sell the cakes? Sorry to everyone, all right? I know I'm going to fuck everyone's sort of marketing
Don't do it,
plans
folks.
now. I'm not doing it because it's true. I say no filter. We come out,
What
and they
don't,
still
what
they say,
don't you want in it?
fucking all that dry shit, man. Oh, Sharpie. That's a fucking boomerang bar. Will fuck me dead, mate. My mum used to make Sharpie
Where's
all
the
the
cough?
time.
I inhaled this. I think sugar before I beat it. Ah! I'm not fucking the Scarface.
I hated
Yeah, but-
Sharpie. I fucking still hate Sharpie. I'll just throw them at people I don't
Yeah,
like.
my
Let me,
mum
you're
loved
more of
me.
a, I reckon, cream schnitzel guy.
Oh my god, that's me. My favorite dessert in the world, sorry to say, is tiramisu.
Oh.
But even say tiramisu, right? So this is a perfect example of saying where you can experiment and you don't have to make the same shit they made in 1821.
Yeah.
You can move on. The tiramisu wasn't invented till the 60s, maybe even early 70s.
Yeah.
But it's iconic. It's Italian, like this tradition around tiramisus, which means you can move on, make cakes, do different things, put fucking cream in it. Don't have to serve me Sharpie and Kiflitz.
Shake the can of a
Actually,
Sharper.
Kiflitz all right. I'll go, no, Kiflitz all right.
The
But
slide-
those Sharpie, you got me on that. My God.
Sharpie, I don't even know. That wasn't a cake. That wasn't a biscuit. That was just like fucking.
It's because they bought
sand.
those shapes they had to make.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what it is.
the shells.
I see my mum baking. My mum was a pretty good baker. And Majarica was fucking
Yeah,
sensational.
Majarica,
Or Medina Pita,
Yeah.
all these things. Oh, beautiful. I love these things. And I was like, I could smell baking. I go in there, I'll say Sharpie. I'll go see you later.
That's like me. When I walk home from school, I can smell from the driveway. Oh, it's fucking jiggeritza.
Oh, no, for the
It's
open the
chicken.
door and smell that fucking
Yeah,
smell.
it smells beautiful, and then I see it. There's no.
I
Our
know,
restaurants, Tomca Puhalo, our restaurants are all wrong. Always the same crap. I don't eat any of that. Sick of Chavape. Love kotlovina.
Yeah,
Instead of sarma-
so that would be good too.
Instead
Yeah.
of sarma, punjena paprika. Look, there's a lot of work that goes into these things. This isn't.
Yeah.
Even sarma's not easy. It's not a fast
Nah,
food.
No, it's not.
This is
Yeah.
fucking
No, it's not.
bulk. You need to
That's
make
right.
a lot of it to make it.
And the
To
more you
make,
make, the better
to
it
make it
tastes.
worthwhile, yeah.
Strukle, but cooked with really fried vrhnje on top.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
Now, some of this stuff I don't even know. Basically,
Has anyone actually been to that Le Struk place in Zagreb? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Buzara, best in Split. Snježana Čalić, former master chef contestant, has popularized Balkan cuisine in recent
she
years
has. I've
through her
seen that,
cooking
yeah.
videos and social media.
It's funny though when it's something traditional. Oh, this is a traditional Serbian thing, and then when it's like you can see because she's one of the attractive people. When she has one of those things, and it's like, this is a traditional Balkan. You know,
Yeah.
all right, no worries, you know,
Unfortunately, you can't rely on Hrvati. You could close your business straight away. Majority jealous and don't want you to
But
get
it doesn't
prosper.
matter. But you don't need to rely on Hrvati because that's what I'm talking about. Is that the food's so good that people catch on. Mate, Ragusa was packed all the time. Dalmatina were packed all the time. That they just sort of got, you know.
Yeah, Brodet, we in myself we say Brodet, but Brodet is a part of normal diet in Sali. I remember my late father telling me Aussies would laugh at him for eating Brodet. If you could get it at a restaurant now, it would cost a fortune.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Exactly right.
Yeah.
But who remembers as a kid getting teased? You bring a fucking roll, a ciabatta roll for a couple of days old, yeah? Fucking tvrdo ko vrag. So it's like rubber. And then you got fucking prosciutto in there, you got some sort of slanina and shit. You get fucking teased.
Oh,
Now that same moron and Norris Bank Primary used to tease me.
Pay $250 a
That's
kilo.
right, for a fucking platter, or going to press the market and buy it. You know, it's not on your deli. I'll guarantee you now, the clientele isn't crows.
No.
It's these fucking hipsters,
Yeah.
these dual income,
Yeah.
same-sex couples
That's
that are
right.
fucking in there.
Millionaire socialist.
Thank you, Ivan. Slice me a couple more fucking decagrams of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now they're fucking it. Now they're telling me how good it is. Now the same cocksucker
Yeah.
that told me you log, how can you eat that slop or whatever? Your man said, go with it. Oh, you got to try the prosciutto from Istra Small Goods in
Manager's
Carlsbad.
good.
It's fantastic. It's man, team.
I actually always laugh when you go to the deli because I don't ask for a decagram or a half a kilo. They go, I'll have 7 slices of that.
That's so true.
It is. Look at us.
It's
Look at
so
fucking hell. All right.
Yeah, Lashtuk in Zagreb was pretty good.
Yeah, there you go, 'cause I've heard about this
Paul kilo and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then they go, oh, it's actually 540.
How much? How
My
much?
share.
I want
No,
well,
no.
this much. Fucking deals, no. I told you we're going to probably have to wrap up soon.
Yeah,
My
we will.
Pukuni Uyats, when he came to Australia, right? He'd go into the deli, he didn't know any English. He had to stay in a camp in Italy because he was underage, so he went before joining to go into the Boy Scout.
Hmm.
And he come in and he just point in the fucking they, and you see this yellow block of stuff. Cut it. He thought it was cheese, right? So she'd fucking slice off. She's a bit strange. This bloke keeps buying. He buys it, goes home. Within a couple of weeks, saw your room man. He's put on weight. He's fucking bursting at the seams, yeah. And then finally, I learned a bit of English, and then she goes to him, Sammy, why do you keep buying so much butter?
Oh, yeah.
He thought it was fucking cheese. He's slicing his shit into fucking slices.
Oh, my God.
Put it into his sandwich and that, mate. He's fucking perfect. It's beautiful. Oh, fucking master.
Oh,
Mate, he fucking blew out. The lady goes, why is he buying so much fucking butter? Because, in the old days, you just get that block looking out you can buy for cooking butter, yeah? And he'd fucking cut that into slices called cheese.
I was speaking about butter and mast. I'm making my own mast all the time now. Mate. So I'll go to the butcher, make sure I render that shit down.
And
mate,
you
when
make your own?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Because it's just, you know what now? Duck fats and goose fats and whatever.
Pork or beef?
No, pork.
Yeah.
No, I want to do the loy. Actually, I haven't tried the loy.
Yeah,
and I want to do it. And I want to try like
Teller.
with computer and
That's
stuff.
the way
I
it
want
was
to try
kids.
that.
A thick slice of Vienna bread,
Yeah.
masked, and
So
then
paprika
on
or
top.
soli or whatever.
Salt
Even
and
some
pepper,
look or
yeah.
something on top. Like
Paprika.
mladi look or something.
That's I remember walking home and you come home, there's a screw, masked, and paprika.
Yeah, as a kid, I
Sprinkled
did a
on.
lot. Yeah, no.
Imagine I
loved
told
it.
my kids now I'm going to make you a masked and paprika sprinkle sandwich. They'd call the Department of Human Services. Fuck yeah. Now, what's this one? The look on my grade 4 teacher's face watching me eating homemade fried chicken while the skips, their Vegemite sandwich. You know what I mean? Exactly. We did. Olives. But how things changed when my mother she's the oldest. When she went to school, I remember once we wrapped up, it was like olives in one foil, kobasice in another foil. And she's going to school with this. I go, you're going to cough it.
Yeah.
No, things have changed now.
No,
Mate.
they do.
They're
It's
swapping now. The kids are asking, who can I have some of yours?
Yeah.
It was different. You had to anglicise your name before. Now they do their best to actually pronounce it. It's actually a bit different.
But all right, boys.
Yeah, well,
Georgie boy,
Are you actually calling it?
Yeah, we are calling it. We are.
Well, it's
Sorry,
10:30,
yeah.
But I was
Only
thinking
got
about
3 hours and a bit. Okay,
Yeah,
not
it's
too bad. That's
not
all
too
right.
bad.
That's now that's like a short program these days. That's where we've come to.
That was a real.
Yeah.
Fucking
really-
Dave Porter, put this one on your ex. Yeah, but it'll fit. Yeah, but Kilo Luca is Soli. But that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
But we will get a couple of subscriptions for the yearly digital and physical.
Yep.
And you think of a couple of
Yeah, during the week, send us some
early
questions.
and then we'll organise that. And make sure you subscribe. You can see it's been on the screen all day. Subscribe to the Hrvatski Vjesnik, either the $4 edition or the $10 version or the yearly, monthly, whichever way you want to go about it. It's not, for the year, it's $102 for the digital and
Or just 41 for
112, whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah,
Yeah. Nothing.
Nishta.
And don't forget to subscribe to the business directory too. There should be a link.
Yeah,
there as well. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And look it up. When you need something, look up that business directory, see if you can support that business. Goes a long way. That's real community as well,
Yeah.
you know? And don't go there like, oh, why me a $10 jeftini. Don't worry about that, mate. Just support. Because other communities have shown how to get,
Indeed.
I don't know, what would be the word? They had to get rich by supporting one another. Because
Exactly
there are
right.
other communities that do it better than we do in that sense. But things can change.
Exactly. But Bogdan Bonk says, great episode, Dechki. So I'm glad to see Bogdan Bonk is watching.
Is he still around, Bogdan Bonk?
I don't know.
Is he alive? Is he
hangs
living
out
here in
He hangs
Poland?
out with Zoltan Zolt. I mean,
Does it? Remember, we Zoltan. Is he still?
This
Zoltan.
this is going to be
What
one.
was what was that movie?
This is going to be one of those half an hour goodbyes here.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Ljudi moji.
Zoltan.
But yeah, like George mentioned there as well. So not only subscription, get on the Crow business directory as well.
Yeah.
If you're not a business yourself, get on there and find a business that can help you out with whatever you're doing around the house or in your own business.
Yeah.
Like where I am now, right? There's a fair few Crows working there. That's one thing. We're high-rise carpentry.
Yep.
He's doing the carpentry in his joint, which is Crows as well.
Yep.
And it's all, there's a Neko Znar's a
Yeah.
network. Bring
Yeah.
him in.
Follow
Yeah.
Bogle.
There's another Comp Seal. I think they're Crows as well. Strathmore Split Boy,
Yeah.
who runs that joint. And you can see there's a connection between these people. They work together on sites and they go along
That's
with
right.
each other, and people see they do a good job,
Yep.
and they re-employ them. We can do the same amongst ourselves. as
And that was that thing. I think that question earlier on, whether it's a Croatian-owned one or Croatian, but if they're supporting your club and they're, can be whatever they are.
There's a
but
lot
they're
of
putting,
sponsors.
support
Yeah,
these
a
things,
lot
yeah.
of
Support your
sponsors at every
support.
club that aren't Crow,
support
but
those
they're
sponsors.
supporting the clubs.
Exactly right. Ali George, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, coming all the way. You only had one beer, not even 2 beers, I reckon, in the last 4 or 3 hours.
So, General,
Everyone's safe. I've
Bye-bye.
only had 1.5 Palinkovic's, and I haven't even finished my second beer, so I think we've done pretty well.
Six-pack waiting after the show.
We're going on a Punjana Paprika run now.
Yeah, I know.
There's a drive-through Punjana Paprika.
Imagine that.
imagine that.
Well, you have, so I'll have the Punjana Paprika meal deal
Yeah.
with...
With or without pire.
That's not a stupid idea.
It's not a stupid idea at all.
Properly placed in a good location, west somewhere. I'm thinking a nice drive through. Got Gra.
Yeah.
There at
What's
that
that do?
Sunshine Avenue now, you got a Macca's, Starbucks,
Yeah, what's going
El
on there?
Jana, whatever it's called.
Is that all? It's all near the freeway there.
All time we'll throw in some Punjana Paprika.
Lichka Kucha.
But someone did ask, is there a Richard update?
A what?
Richard.
Richard.
Oh, Richard.
I've got to try and get that guy.
I got to get that one. The one I sent you.
Oh, yeah.
You got to put that one on.
Thomas Puhala watched the last 3 episodes, the previous one all the way. So he watched it the full 7.5 hours. Was it 7?
Did he? He actually watched the
Watched there were people have come and said we watched the whole thing in one go, not over 6 days. They've watched it. They start up to 3:30. Got insomnia or they're bolesting. Either way,
or they're just waiting for us to fuck up again. That's what
now I'll have to go back and watch the old ones. But we do have an update. He sent us a message. He sent us a video message during the week, Richard. Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool.
Check it. He said this. There you go. That's the update from Richard for this week. Ali George, Slaka Charles, thank you very much for keep up the great work at the Viesnik. It's going from strength to strength. Fantastic work by you and everybody involved. We mentioned a lot of their names already tonight. Get involved. Come down to Clifton Hill this weekend. Is there any hard copy? No, you buy a hard copy. Clifton Hill always.
Won't be out just yet. I think it's out the week after.
Week after, either way. If you want a hard copy, talk to your news agents and say, look, get us a copy. If not, go digital. It is the way of the future and the way that we are. Everyone seems to be going as well. So get your subscription, get involved. If you've got something as well that you want to contribute, you might be a part of a club or whatever you think, either reach out or flick something through, no doubt. That everyone will be at the Viesnik happy to hear it and get you on board as well, just like what we do here. Send something through and we'll try and get it in. Viesnik is the same as well. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Join us next week. We'll see who I've hopefully got someone from Hurstville Zagreb next week.
Nice.
I did get a message from Zagreb itself today, hoping to get a special guest on one day soon. We will see. He's a person that they have coffees with usually on a regular basis, and if we can get this guy that messaged me today with the person that he has coffee with live from Zagreb, that'll be pretty fantastic as well.
I spoke to Ricky Mezic today, who was part of the delegation that went to Croatia a few weeks ago in that whole bilateral business thing, and there was an award winner. With the fish, and he's agreed to come on. So I don't know if he might be ready for next week. He can tell us a little bit more about that whole venture between businesses between Australia and Croatia.
And if you're just out there and you want to come on, or you want a video link and you want to got something to say, obviously, man, we've been saying it from day one.
Yeah,
we will send you the link. You log in, you tell us.
We want to hear your voice. Yeah,
whatever's on. If you're cooking something, let's say you might be at home on 7:30 on a Monday night cooking something, and you want to hold your phone up and go, here you go, have a look live. Make it put in a paprika, make it sharp.
Please don't make sharp.
So repressed memories can come back of coughing up icing sugar. Again, and I used to love the donuts. Yeah, the homemade donuts. Yeah. It was just dough and sugar.
Crafty or crofty?
But then they got sweaty. When they stayed a little bit, you put them in a tub or you put them in the foil on it, and they felt like the sugar got wet. You still smashed them, didn't matter.
Put that on the gutshit.
Oh, that
was like almost like Uštipci, but just like with a hole.
And then done with kupus, isn't it?
No.
Is that what their official name is? Kroštuleve?
That was a bit thicker.
Were they sort of weaved into each other and just icing sugar on it?
Basically.
And it was hard. It was like
it wasn't crispy. No. It was more like almost like Uštipci, like it was softer. I remember like it'd be like a square,
Oh,
And I just
these
have
were-
like a couple of cuts in it. You get
These were
fried,
long.
and then in sugar.
These were long.
Oh, they're hard though.
They're not hard.
They're crispy?
No,
No.
they're not
Oh.
crispy.
Ja,
No.
ze je podrena gače u Iko pod krostole.
Crushed, yeah, they're yellow and
Yeah,
they're made from
They're a bit woven and they're longer. And you,
deep fried.
Yeah.
And
Poderanagatje is what you have the next day after eating chili.
but what's it? There's a
Yeah.
meal from Zagreb where they do some sort of also tiesto. It's like poderanagache, and it's done with cabbage as well. I'm trying to think of it because
Oh, it's like you got like it's almost like mincy with
yes,
with
it's-
kupus or whatever.
Yes.
I know
It'll
what you're
come to
talking
me.
about.
Yeah.
And I actually saw this week being cooked. I don't know what it's called. So it's almost it's like a pasta dish with kupus.
That's
It's cooked like,
Seljačko, that's-
yeah, real Seljačko,
yeah.
whatever you've got.
that's what we love.
Yeah, 100%. That's what.
All right, ljudi moji, thank you very much. 11:15, laku noć. Thanks for joining us once again. Hopefully you had a great time. We did, as we always do, here on a Monday. Thanks to George Sabljak for joining us from the Hrvatski Vjesnik. Make sure you subscribe. Jump online, vjesnik.com.au. Subscribe, buy a subscription for Christmas for your loved ones. Get on board,
Yeah, great
support
Christmas
it
present.
because it's been going since 1983. We want to see this keep going till 2083 and beyond. So get on board, support it. Get your advertising in there if you need. Do you want to advertise something? Get onto the Vjesnik as well. Get your business on there. Get your business on the directory. Ljudi moji, laku noć. We'll see you all next week and have a fantastic rest of the week and get out and support our clubs and do all things Crow that you can. So laku noć,
Laku noć.
hvala vam,
Laku noć, God bless.
and we will see you all soon.
Jer istog smo roda, iste smo loze, krv nije voda, nisu ni suze. Isto je more i ovo sunce, stavilo pečat na dušu i srce. Istog smo roda, iste smo loze, krv nije voda, nisu ni suze. Isto je more i ovo sunce, stavilo pečat na dušu i srce. Jer istog smo roda.